You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, Don on the beat.
I got so many ops.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ops.
so many ops.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ops.
That food
Hey,
was ooey. I gotta,
Mo came through. Mo came
I
through
gotta, I
with
gotta
the
clean my teeth out because that food was.
wee, wee.
That food was great.
Man, y'all, Suni and I were eating chips. I got my wrap snacks. Suni, what are you munching on?
Some nasty ass Doritos.
She's munching on Doritos. This is not a paid sponsorship. These wrap snacks. These wrap snacks.
I mean, y'all can sponsor us though.
Yeah, shout out to us wrap snacks, whoever makes you.
Yeah, y'all can definitely like.
There's a great message, by the way, on this bag. It says, "We can't change the world unless we change ourselves."
That's a Biggie Smalls quote.
Hmm. I mean, honey jalapeno. Okay.
What is jalapeno? Why do y'all? That said Texas shit. Isn't that jalapeno?
Jalapeno.
It's
Jalapeno.
jalapenos.
Jalapeno.
You know what I call them?
What do you call them?
Jalapenos.
Jalapenos. That makes sense. That makes sense. I can see that. Anyways, these are bomb. These are bomb. I just want to, for those of you that say I'm a white supremacist, just know I'm supporting the Black community by eating wrap snacks. Right?
That's how you're supporting the Black community, by eating wrap snacks.
Okay, so now there's a certain way I have to support the Black community. It's got to be.
I mean, I don't even know no niggas that eat wrap snacks.
I can't with you right now.
It's true.
Ain't nothing good enough for you.
No. It needs to be perfect.
I'm done with you. Y'all, just know that today, I know, like I was just saying this to Suni, I know that we promoted this show as Crowder versus Candace, but just know this has been a hell of a week, okay, with Suni, and it's about to be Mo versus Suni.
What the fuck did I do? I didn't do
When
anything.
I tell you that she is fighting me on everything, okay, like she literally messages me shit to fight with me about it. Like she knows.
Why
She's
are
like,
you
oh,
lying?
she's like, I'm about to trigger Mo on this shit. And then she messages me with some bullshit.
That's not true. I'm very nice
Mhm.
to Mo, by the way.
Yeah, super nice. She was super nice to me, but she's on one right now. She wants to fight with me. She wants to
Mo.
fight with me.
See, this is what happens when direct people get into conversation, right?
Yeah.
People who are just like, oh, well, it's your opinion, like you can have that. They're not used to me, to where I'm like, well, no, I want you to like defend this. I don't understand. Like
Right.
help me understand your thought pattern. And you know what's crazy? I
What's
get mad
crazy?
at my husband for that because it
Mhm.
frustrates me. I feel like I'm making myself clear and he's just like, I really don't understand what you're saying. So like
Yeah.
explain to me your thought pattern. So maybe you're just going through what I go through, and now I'm experiencing what my husband experiences with me when he's just simply asking, what do you mean by that?
Right. Suni, do you love me?
What? Why are you asking me this live?
Do you love me?
I love you, yes.
Watch it.
Watch
Watch
it.
it. Watch it.
Watch it.
Suni, we're at an impasse. We're at an impasse right now.
We are
okay?
at an impasse. Watch
We're
it.
at an impasse. You say you love me, then you say you love me. Don't spell it out. Just say it.
How do we respect the men? What's going on?
This isn't about men. This is about two women, and we're supposed to have a friendship. And you're changing. You say you love me, then say you love me. Say it right now, or get the fuck out. I will
This is
fuck you up,
abuse.
Suni. I will fuck you up.
This is abuse. That is abuse. I don't care
Ladies
what
and
anybody
gentlemen,
says.
that was me and Suni's rendition of Mr. and Mrs. Crowder.
Shout out to Steven, by the way. Steven Crowder, I'm team Crowder over here. All right.
Team Beta.
I've been Crowder. I've been consistently team Crowder. I think I'm just a loyal person, man.
I think honestly, and I'm about to call bullshit here. I think you're Team Crowder because he's kind of like the underdog right now,
No.
and he's against all the people that you love to go
Look at
at.
this narrative
So
building.
yeah, that's what it
No.
is you are going to take his side. Only reason why I say this, what up,
Yes.
baby? Only
Substantial.
only reason why I say this is because if this wasn't Steven Crowder and I were to throw up the picture of Steven Crowder dressed as a woman, not once but twice, Soonie would be like,
Go ahead.
I don't support the Flaggets. I don't support the Transformers.
Go ahead.
I,
Hey, somebody rolled a clip for Mo when I reacted to this live, and I said, "Oh, he's definitely a faggot for doing that. That shit's weird." Somebody
yeah,
rolled a clip for Mo because he
Well,
wasn't absolved from dressing like a queer. I called him
I
a
know,
queer.
but he's
That's
clearly
gross.
emotionally damaged. But don't
See
listen,
that I'm not gonna do because that's character assassination. No,
people. Don't let this be an indication of how you think that this live is going to go, because you don't even know. You don't even know how this is going to go. All right. We just gave you a little taste to confuse you because you're probably going to leave. You're probably going to leave this live torn, is what I'm thinking.
I don't think so.
Because Suni's going to say some stuff. I'm going to say some stuff. And then you're going to be like, that Mo had a point.
Are you
Right?
guys gonna leave Mo upset at the end of this? I feel a big upset coming. How about y'all? What do you
No.
sense about? No?
No, I don't feel a big upset coming. I feel like Mo is going to be the best opinion in this situation because I'm not Team Crowder. And even though I love Candace, I have some critique for her on this. So I am probably the best person to give the best advice on this situation.
Well, we should just go ahead and show how much you are the best. Go for it.
Well, wait, before we do, can we get hello? Can the people in the chat make sure you give this video a like? Because I don't know
I'm
what's going
already
on.
anxious. Fuck the comments right now. I don't even care
No,
about
no,
that.
no. No, no, no. We need you guys to give this video a like. We need you guys to give this video a share. Get the comments going right now with a comment on who you think is going to have the best points in this Crowder versus Candace fight.
Christine is already showing us she's not. We know what it is behind the scenes. Okay? Behind the scenes, we know what it is.
She
In
loves us both.
public, you have to be on both sides. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. People might think I'm being harsh. People might take your side. This is
Mhm.
an emotional topic, so you might win this specifically because it's related to emotions. And I clearly don't
Oh,
have as
here
many
we
as you
go.
do.
Shots fired.
I'm just
Shots
saying.
fired. See how she did that, y'all? See how she Let me tell you something. Okay, because y'all aren't popping up and off enough on the comments, we're just going to keep making you wait. Soonie came at me today and said to me, because we were arguing about a video Tatum dropped, and I was like, I agree with what Tatum said.
Mhm.
And she's like, why are you always so pro Tatum? And I'm like, I'm not always so pro Tatum. I agree with what he said right here. So I start to say why. Okay. And when I speak, if y'all have watched me on lives, I always speak from a place of experience, right? Because that's all I have to go on is my experience. I don't open my mouth like some people we know on Instagram, Deontay, and talk about shit that I know nothing about. Okay. So I don't do that. Mo talks from a place of this is my experience. Soonie says, I'm too emotional. I always speak from a place of emotion and feeling. But I feel like that's what makes me, I feel like that's what makes
Exactly.
me amazing.
You
That's
feel
why I carefully craft my words to not
to what?
sound like an ass. You know what I mean?
No. I don't. I think when you sound like an ass, you sound like your true authentic self because most of us are asses.
Wait, are you saying wait, are you saying my truth that are you saying my true authentic self is an ass? Is that what you just said? Did
Mine,
she
yeah.
just Oh, I thought you said my true authentic self is an
No. No, I'm saying I think we should behave this way
ass.
because our true authentic selves, most of us, we're assholes. I don't know why people want to shy away from that. Sometimes little kids are assholes. They're very upfront, they're direct, they have no filter,
Yeah.
and you're like, whoa, you can't be saying that.
Mhm.
But that's unfiltered honesty. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, and
At
that
least
works
I
for
don't
some
think
people.
so.
That works for some people if that comes naturally to you. That doesn't come naturally to me. I'm not an asshole naturally. I'm nice. I'm nice. I'm nice. I'm a nice person.
I'm going to sleep on that one.
Oh. Christine says she thinks like Soonie but speaks like Mo. I don't know, Christine. You're like me. I think you think like me too.
I
I think
don't know.
this is another case of you're afraid of Soonie.
Why is that always the default? Why?
because
Every time
because
someone,
it's a theory.
it's a theory.
It's a theory that I
I
think
hate
when
I hate
people
that
are afraid,
fucking theory.
people are afraid to disagree with you.
It actually makes me not want to. It makes me want to purposely not say anything so I can see if people are being honest.
You should. You should totally do that.
We'll see.
All right. All right. Well, let's get started on this conversation. So let us know in the comments if you know about this situation between Candace Owens and Steven Crowder. What I
Mhm.
think is funny is this is now known as the situation between Candace Owens and Steven Crowder, when it really is the situation with Steven Crowder and his wife that
Mhm.
has now become a very public divorce.
Mhm.
Um, Sudi, why don't you give the synopsis? I have video to show. I'm going to show, but I want you to kind of give the Reader's Digest version of what we're going to be talking about here today.
So, see what happened was, no, let me stop. Um, Steven made a video to where he actually, let's go all the way back. Okay. Let's go back to Daily Wire.
Okay.
Let's go back to the conflict with them. Steven had an issue with Jeremy Boring and what Daily Wire had going on with the contracts. Boom, put out the audio.
Mm-hmm.
Then this kind of back and forth ensues between Steven and Candace. I think Candace continues discussion, um, ultimately offering up prayer, saying that Steven is going through something because nobody acts like this unless they're going through something, and that she may or may not be putting that out if she deems necessary, and she feels like the public needs to know.
Mm-hmm.
Steven didn't take too kindly to that, and he said, "You know what? Before anybody else can do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going through a divorce." Boom. This whole thing takes off, right? Candace, he accused her of extortion, which I don't agree with. I think that's going a bit far. I can understand him being upset. So Candace doesn't take too kindly to the extortion accusation. So Candace comes back out and she says all these very inflammatory things. And you guys will see in the videos that we show. She says some very crazy things. And they go back and forth. And then the next day, boom, this video comes out. And it shows an interaction between Steven and his wife, in my opinion, having a married couple's quarrel and discussion. And we have conservative commentators speaking on it, painting him out to be a monster, a bad person. And here we are today. Now we're all waiting for Steven to come out with whatever evidence he said he was going to be dropping, because he did make a video and address the video that was dropped, which is this leaked video that somehow got out. We don't know how. Hillary. But that's where it brings us to where we are today in a present time, which is who's picking? Whose side are we on? I don't think
Yeah.
we need to choose sides, but I do think that there's a wrong and a right in this situation.
Yeah. That was a really good explanation, by the way, because I couldn't have
Thank you.
done that. Like that was really perfect. Yeah, like I'm from there's a what was the name of the guy that actually dropped the video? Because I think a lot of people thought Candace was the one that dropped the video, but there was a guy. His name was
Yashir
Yashar
Ali,
Yashir
Yashar or
Ali.
Yashir, whatever his name is, but it's
Yeah,
between those two things.
yeah. So he has a Twitter page, and I guess he's the one that got this information from I agree with Soonie Hillary or
Hmm.
Hillary's family,
Hmm.
um, because he alludes to the fact that he has more information, but he's just releasing this video.
Hmm.
Why just this video? We don't know. I thought that in itself was interesting.
Hmm.
Um, I also thought it was quite interesting, like the timing of all this. And we're going to show for those of you guys who didn't see Steven's comments and Candace's comments, we'll show all that stuff. It's about an 8-minute video of everything because I had to condense it. But we can watch it so you guys can get caught up. But I thought it was interesting that like the timing of all this, that Steven comes out and says, "Hey guys, I got to talk about this now because it's been made public. I'm getting a divorce." Candace comes out, responds to that because in that he alludes that Candace extorted him. And then boom, this guy Yashir Ali gets this video when in the background, according to Steven, allegedly their divorce between the two of them was agreed to be a private matter and there was supposed to be no discussion about it. And I guess the allegation is that he opened the gate for it to be made public because
Hmm.
he basically wanted to respond to Candace because he was going to like put all the focus that this was Candace that was that was kind of alluding to the fact that he was getting a divorce during the whole Daily Wire debacle,
Hmm.
which I also think is interesting. There was the Daily Wire debacle and then there was this all of a sudden. So there's a lot going on here. I see both sides. I see Soonie's side and I see a little bit of Steven's side. I see a little bit of Candace's side. The one person I actually don't agree with at all is the wife. How she's handling it.
Hmm.
I don't like that either of them are talking about this, number one, because I think this is a very sad situation for their children. I don't think a divorce when there is young children involved should be made public. I personally, I don't care if you are a big star or whatever. There has to be a line with your family, and you have to be willing to risk it all. And if the public says, "Well, we demand that you talk about this. You owe us an apology." Um, I personally would say, "F everybody. I don't owe you shit, and I'll throw my whole career down the drain before I will put my family out there for content." That's just me. Now, Steven, he's got a big following, and I think he figured, well, I need to say something because people are talking about this, right?
Hmm.
Um, so that part I'm just like, whatever. But I don't agree that Candace inserted herself. I get that he made these allegations.
Hmm.
And I get that, Candace is a beast when it comes to this stuff, and she will quickly get with her lawyers and go after people who say stuff against her that is, in her opinion, in a false or a lie. But again, making it content is where I have a problem. I think she could have gone after him and sent him a letter and done all the stuff she did and didn't have to talk about it. And the reason why I say that is because I had no idea this was going on with Steven, and I had no idea this was going on with Candace. And I would have never known, and I doubt the rest of the world would have ever known or even really cared if neither of these two people made it a big deal. What do you think?
I don't know about the entire situation
Yeah.
or your opinion.
Just like about the entire situation, and then we'll play so people can kind of make their own
Yeah.
assessments. But I want to know, and then we'll dive deeper in what you kind of think.
Um, I don't find the only people I find to be in error are the people outside of Stephen. I don't think he owes anybody an explanation. I also don't think that he is wrong for speaking about what's going on in his personal life, especially when it's being broadcasted on social media. Some people will choose to ignore it. Some people will choose to address it. I'm one of those people where if you put something like that intimate out about me, I'm going to address it. It's just going to happen. Um, I think everyone else who is putting their mouth on this situation, they're wrong. They're wrong. It's not your business. It's not your place to have an opinion. It's not my place to have an opinion. But I do think that these takes need to be put out there to really implore people to mind their goddamn business, because it's not social media. This is someone's life. This is someone's marriage. And maybe I just take marriage a little more serious than a lot of other people do, but I don't think that anybody should be infusing themselves in this situation no matter what he's done. In the workplace, outside of it, during political commentary, speak on his commentary. Bringing someone's family and like personal shit into it, I don't rock with that.
Okay. Well, let's play what his comments were. So this was like a couple of days ago, maybe last week. So this is going to be Steven's initial statement. So this is the first video that came out. And then you're going to see a response from Candace on what he said. And then we're going to actually show a Ring camera video that was taken at Steven Crowder's residence while him and his wife were arguing in the backyard. And what we really want to talk about is everybody's opinion about this video. I mean, listen, it's out there. I can't take it back that it's not out there. I would rather not bring attention to it, but it's out there. I have a lot of opinions about that video, and I know Soonie does because we've watched it now like 20 million times. And I think our opinions have evolved. But let me go ahead and share screen here, and we will play this video.
Before we move on, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking of this looking down on anybody. I'm speaking on this from a person who literally had the opportunity to air someone out in this very manner and involve marriage and children and all that. And I still chose like, nah. We're gonna stick to what the actual issue is. Just to give context. Because I know some people will take it and be like, no, I have experience in this and I chose to not engage.
Yeah, and I know who Soonie's talking about, and I just want it to be known that she talked me down from the ledge because I was the one that was just like, we gonna expose it all, okay? We gonna tell, and she was like, no, that's not right.
Yeah,
but
I don't believe in that.
We didn't release this information. So now we're commenting on it, but we didn't release this information. Yeah. So we're just making it clear we would never release this type of information. All right.
I don't think you share the audio.
Oh.
Because I can't.
It's not sharing?
I can't hear the audio at all.
Okay, hold on. Y'all, one of these days.
Tech.
What?
Okay. I am judging Hillary put this out. Hey. I'm going to read some comments while you figure that out.
Yeah, put them up on the
never
screen.
mind.
All right.
Well, I guess let me be clear here. I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now. Since 2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear, there is no infidelity, any kind of physical abuse at all on either side. And no, this was not my choice. So if you're familiar with the idea of extortion, then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these threats were so thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Stephen has a lot going on, I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like
Okay, real quick, I just wanted to pause it here because I want you guys to take note that this is a statement made by Candace in January of 2024. I'm sorry, January 24th of 2023. And this was after the situation with the Daily Wire. So this is the comment that he's alluding to where he says she kind of outed him that he had a lot going on. There's going to be more clarification around the statement that she made, but I just wanted to say that.
This if there's not a lot going on in their lives. I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to the situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer. Sometimes people need a scripture. You know, Stephen purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at this moment if it is my place to say more than that. You know, maybe.
Did you want me to pause it?
Hold on, let me mute this because it's going to echo. I want everybody to write down the word purport. That's a very important word that I'm going to get into when we talk about Candace's response. Write this word down, purport. Okay, I'm good.
Okay.
Maybe if I feel in further defense, something should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances.
Well, my children have a right to privacy. Now, some other issues have been, or I should say, inferences have been more pernicious behind the scenes with demands and threats to use this information that they believe would be so publicly embarrassing to me and my wife at a difficult time that it could be used, knowingly putting my children in harm's way. So to those self-styled Christians, conservatives, and allies, well, not in my book. Now, if you find yourself, I don't want to get into details, so this is going to likely be the only time I have to address this or want to address this. If you're asking yourself, hey, did X person or did Y person know? The answer is likely yes.
First and foremost, if you're a person that watches his show, how do you not see that he is so obviously acting and that he is a very bad actor? Do you feel bad for him when he says that? When he says, if you're familiar with the idea of extortion, well, if you are familiar with the idea of extortion, you should realize that that video that he just showed of me wasn't that. Nobody threatened him. Nobody made demands behind closed doors. His insinuation that I knew about his divorce before he decided to attack the Daily Wire is a pointed lie. Let me tell you what actually went on behind the scenes. Stephen Crowder on election night was our friend. He was on the backstage with all of us, laughing, having a great time. He even sent me a retrospectively very flirty message thereafter on Instagram about how nice I looked on election night, even though I didn't respond to it. Thereafter, obviously, he attacked the Daily Wire. He decided to record his friend, Jeremy Boring, and to release the recording out of context to make it seem like Jeremy Boring knows that he's employing all of us like we're slaves, right? This is what Stephen Crowder did. We had a right to respond forcefully to all of his claims. We all did that on our different platforms. And then I said to myself, just sitting there one day, why is he doing this? It's a very simple question and an obvious question that any person would ask. This is not normal behavior. It's very erratic to go from being friends with somebody, being with them on election night, laughing, having a great time, to suddenly wanting to ruin their entire company and launching Stop Big Con. It's bizarre behavior. I turned to my husband and I said, where's his wife in all of this? Isn't she so supposedly a Christian? I'm just thinking about the way that I talk about everything in my life with my husband. Every night I'm talking to him about what's going on at work. I thought to myself, where is Hillary Crowder in all of this? How did she not tell him not to do something this vicious and this disgusting? And then I said to my husband, I bet they're not even together. I logged on to Instagram and I found Hillary Crowder's Instagram account and I looked to see, and it turned out that she didn't follow Stephen Crowder and that Stephen Crowder didn't follow her. He didn't follow anybody in her family and she wasn't.
Okay, I'm going to pause because I can tell Soonie just needs to say something right now. What do you got to say, Soonie? What do you got to say to what? Let's just talk about what she said up to this point. Because there's a lot here. There's a lot here.
Okay.
And then we'll keep playing. Tell me just this little response. So this is her first response. What are your thoughts?
I think the goalposts moving in this entire situation is gross. Okay.
Mhm.
You just said, I'm going to tell you what actually happened. And upon you telling us what actually happened, you somehow infuse in that, well, we were all friends election night. That's what actually happened. And he also flirted with me because he said I looked nice. That is fucking outlandish. I can't say that word. It's borderline R word. Okay, I don't want to be called an ableist, but to claim that someone flirted with you in efforts to make them look bad, that's purporting. That's why I told you guys to write down that word. She said he purports to be a Christian. And all that word means is to appear to be or to do something, especially falsely. Do you not find what she's doing to be purporting? Well, he flirted with you. What proof do you have? Drop the screenshot.
Mhm.
You're telling us what happened and what actually happened, and then you slip in, well, he flirted with me and I didn't respond. And then I didn't know he was getting divorced. So one night I was just sitting in the bed and I'm like, where is his wife? Like, what does his wife have to do with any of this? I don't think I've ever considered, where is Steven Crowder's wife when he's acting this way? I've never had that thought with anybody. And I'm not saying that Candace can't, but I'm not buying this. I didn't know crap. I'm just not. You did know. There were a ton of people who knew behind the scenes. This stuff was being talked about on Twitter before any of this was aired. I want to add, you guys can go look. I'm going to show you a few screenshots. People knew. I don't understand this portion of this specific episode just leaves me flabbergasted and speechless every time I watch it.
Hmm. I get what you're saying about the purporting. Because yeah, there's like a lot of like, let me like set this up, right? Before I tell you what I'm about to tell you.
Exactly.
Which some may also see as context. Now, the part about her, laying in bed with her husband and thinking to herself, God, this guy's acting kind of weird. I wonder what, I've never really seen Hillary, and, she's notorious. Like, she's notorious. She's kept her always in the background. She just didn't want to be in the public eye. I do find it hard to believe that, like, this wasn't a known thing, because just in our little insignificant circle of influencers that we know, people talk, you hear stuff all the time. So I could imagine at their level, there's definitely going to be talk of something, right? Especially after the Daily Wire stuff. I'm sure people were like, well, he's acting this way because of this, right? Even if it was
Yeah.
just a rumor.
Yeah.
I don't put too much, like, judgment on the fact that she decided to see if they were following each other. But at the same time, I don't feel like that matters much either, because I know, like, there's couples that don't follow each other for privacy reasons. So, like,
Yep.
if you have somebody in the relationship that doesn't want to be a part, especially if you have a very big public persona,
Exactly.
I could understand why you don't follow each other, because you just don't want people to put two and two together. We know how nasty the internet can be, and they will find who you are related to, and they will expose things and take things out of context. So, I see two sides to that.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to stop there because I didn't want you to, like, lose that thought, and I knew you had some thoughts.
I was
about that.
writing stuff down as this was going. And by the
Oh,
way, one more thing. We need to stop with this friends word. Just because people say, "Oh yeah, we're friends." You're friends on Facebook, but are you actually friends? Like, what was the dynamic of their relationship? For Steven to feel the need to record, do
Mhm.
you really think he views you as a friend? And I feel like people are purposely being naive on this just to be mad at him. Well, why? Well, you call this person your friend. Well, you call people on Instagram your friends, but are they your real friends?
Mhm.
Come on.
So some might say you and I are not real friends. We don't really know each other. We haven't never met, right? We haven't sat down and shared a meal together face to face. Some might say that's not friendship. Um, and I'm going to provide more context around the recording stuff later on when we talk about it. So those of you guys in the comments, don't let me forget to talk about the interview that his co-host Ryan did and talked about Steven. Soonie says it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
There's no correlation, right? I have a different opinion on this. So we'll hash that out in a second, but let me let me get through this video so we can watch this.
Clearly, there was some sort of a separation. Now, this might sound like crazy CIA stuff, woman stuff. It's exactly what happened. I then spoke to Jeremy at the Daily Wire and I said, do you think that him and his wife were potentially separated? And he said, no. Obviously, it's his friend. He would have known whether or not they were separated, except he didn't. He actually had no idea if they were separated either. Finally, we decided in conclusion, Jeremy advised that we just stay out of it, that this is actually not our business, but at least it actually felt good to learn that he was going through something privately because it assigned some reason for something that he did that was so horrific and so irrational to his friends. And finally, we said, okay, this is a broken man. This is what I was thinking. This is a broken man who is on some sort of a spiral. It is likely his divorce that led to this moment. He's acting erratic. He's acting panicked. And this at least gives us some sort of an excuse for why he behaved this way. That's it. That's the big scary story. I then went onto my platform and I said, pray for Steven Crowder, honestly, because that's what he needs. He needs a prayer. And apparently nobody's answering those prayers right now because he's still acting erratic.
All right. So I think that was the end of that video. Give me just a second. Where'd Soonie go? She left me here. I'm over here eating my chips. Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear me. So that was her response back to Crowder. And I thought I had another video. Hold on one second, Soonie. Just go ahead and talk about what she said so far. Do you hear me?
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
I was sorry, I got kicked for a minute. She said she asked Jeremy, were they going through a separation? And he said no, because he didn't know, because he didn't tell him. And I'm like, maybe because they weren't friends, like you guys are trying to purport. Maybe he viewed the friendship completely different than Steven did. I've seen that happen in many scenarios where someone is more of your friend than you are theirs. It happens. They may feel something closer to you than you feel with them. It might not be reciprocated. But either way, this is narrative building. Like, how could you do this to your friend? This is someone you called your friend. Friend. Well, this friend didn't know about his separation. So how much of a friendship do they truly have? Because when something like that significant is going on in people that I call friends, I know about it. They trust me enough to call me and be like, look, I'm going through this. Can you say a prayer? Or like, I just want you to know. And the people that I call friends, they're the first person to know when something is going on with me. I'm going to call them. So are they really friends? I think that's really important to highlight and during this entire thing, because this makes Steven looks like a piece of shit according to people. It makes him look like a piece of shit, but they're also purporting that they're friends. So are they friends or are they not? Because if you don't know about his separation that he's been going through for almost 2 years now, then I don't think y'all are as good of friends as you think. And he recorded you for a reason.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I could have sworn when they were going back, when Steven and Jeremy were going back and forth about the Daily Wire stuff and they were talking about the recordings, I think they both referred to each other as friends.
Right, but there's that word friend is subjective. There needs to be some sort of context behind it. Friends how?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you and I were talking about a story and it was involving you and I referred to you as my friend and I referred to, vice versa.
Yes.
I don't think we need to provide context on me saying I'm your friend. Do I?
No, but people can outwardly see that we're actually friends. They don't need that extra context of, well, no, they wasn't really that cool, but they were cool. That's the difference. People were going to know if something's going on with me, you're going to know. You're going to put it out before anybody else does. If something's going on with you, I'm going to know, right? Maybe they didn't have that friendship. And there you do need to provide context behind that because of how loosely people use the word friend. They could just be a working friendship.
But okay, but going back to my comment though, if something like this went down between you and I, it would for sure come up with, well, they've never met. So how friendly are they? Like, what is the contextual definition of their friendship when they've never actually met? Yes, they do a show together. Yes, they talk every day, but nobody knows what we talk about. So, I think the word friend, you're right. You're right about what you're saying about the word friend, but I'm trying to give our example because just like our example can be looked at under a microscope and some people can say, oh yeah, they're really good friends, because in my opinion, we go back to our generational differences. Nowadays, the word friend is very loosely used because most people's friends are on the internet. They're not actually in real life. You know what I mean? So
Even if someone, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I'm done.
Even if someone were to say that, that would be like such an insignificant point. Well, they've never met. So what? You talk to my kids. We're on video chats. We talk in the morning. We're planning what we're going to do. You sometimes converse with my husband. There's a clear, distinct difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone were to say that, it would just be like, okay.
Like, yeah. I mean, there is, like, you and I know the difference. You and I know how much we share, but I'm saying, like, to public people, like you and I talking about this situation, we don't know. Like people don't know that yesterday I sent you a picture of my daughter's cyst and you were completely disgusted. I didn't share that with the world. And like, do I need to give context? And if something goes down with me and Soonie, do I have to be like, we're friends? Check her phone and there's a picture of my daughter's cyst. That'll prove it to you. You know what I mean? Like, right?
I get what you're saying, and I agree. But Dawn summed it up right here for me. This is kind of what I'm thinking.
What are you saying?
People can prove we're friends. It's not very hard to prove. We can't prove that Daily Wire, Jeremy Boring, or Steven Crowder were friends. Because they don't do anything. Like, what do they do? What do they do for us to be like, oh, those are actual friends?
Right.
I know Candace and Tatum are friends. Like, I know they are tight in real life.
Right.
We know that.
Right. But okay, so if I said to Robert or Roberto, I couldn't see his name, prove everybody in the chat right now, give me your proof that me and Soonie are friends. Proof. Because we said so?
Look at you getting into a philosophical debate without even realizing it.
Right? You said,
what is proof? How do you define proof?
What is proof?
See?
Okay.
This lady doesn't like philosophical debates, but you're initiating one.
Because I like feelings. First of all, can we give a shout out? Like, literally, this is my face sometimes. Shout out to Candace, because sometimes this is my total mood when Soonie calls me. When Soonie calls me with some bullshit and she wants to argue with me over the phone, I'm like,
oh God.
Christine says, because we've all had phone calls together. But I'm going to push back on you. So you're saying a phone call makes you a friend. Man, this may be a topic for another day. This might be a real topic. When you have background images. Yeah, when you have background images. Oh, wait, what did it say? Hold on. Are we like fighting over what to show? I think we are.
I'm not touching anything.
When you have background images and conversations, then yeah. See, this is Ashley, this has to be a generational thing, because I had so many friends back in the day and had no background conversations or images because we didn't live in a digital world. So were we really friends? So that's the new question. Were you is there a friendship unless you have digital proof? What a Big Booty Judy. We're not going to play Big Booty Judy because you came late to the show and we're already deep in it because it's daily communication. So daily communication makes you friends. I'm not saying yes or no to any of this. I'm just questioning. These are very interesting answers. Okay. I found the rest of the video. So let's continue on with Candace so we can get her out of this face because she's much prettier than this face. We need to do her justice.
Question
you hear
and
it?
An obvious question that any person would ask. This is not normal behavior. It's very erratic to go from being friends with somebody, being with them on election night, laughing, having a great time, to suddenly wanting to ruin their entire company and launching Stop Big Con. It's bizarre behavior. I turned to my husband and I said, where's his wife in all of this? Isn't she supposedly a Christian? I'm just thinking out the way that I talk about everything in my life with my husband. Every night I'm talking to him about what's going on at work. I thought to myself, where is Hillary Crowder in all of this? How did she not tell him not to do something this vicious and this disgusting? And then I said to my husband, I bet they're not even together. I logged on to Instagram and I found Hillary Crowder's Instagram account and I looked to see, and it turned out that she didn't follow Steven Crowder and that Steven Crowder didn't follow her. He didn't follow anybody in her family and she wasn't following anybody in his family. That was my aha moment. Clearly, there was some sort of a separation. Now, this might sound like crazy CIA stuff, woman stuff. It's exactly what happened. I then spoke to Jeremy at the Daily Wire and I said, do you think that him and his wife are potentially separated? And he said, no. Obviously, it's his friend. He would have known whether or not they were separated, except he didn't. He actually had no idea if they were separated either. Finally, we decided in conclusion, Jeremy advised, that we just stay out of it, that this is actually not our business, but at least it actually felt good to learn that he was going through something privately because it assigned some reason for something that he did that was so horrific and so irrational to his friends. And finally, we said, okay, this is a broken man. This is what I was thinking. This is a broken man who is on some sort of a spiral. It is likely his divorce that led to this moment. He's acting erratic. He's acting panicked. And this at least gives us some.
Okay. So I wanted to stop it there because I heard something interesting. So again, just because a husband and wife are not following each other on social media doesn't mean that they're divorced. So she a little bit outed herself right there. Even though she didn't actually say the words divorce when she talked about it, she's making the assumption that they're divorced. Now we know that this is true, but the way that she said that made me feel like you did know that they were divorced. So that was something that I just caught right now. Let's continue on.
Why he behaved this way. That's it. That's the big scary story. I then went onto my platform and I said, pray for Steven Crowder, honestly, because that's what he needs. He needs a prayer. And apparently nobody's answering those prayers right now because he's still acting erratic. He's now upping the confirms it. So let's first get to the footage. I'm just going to allow you to watch it in its entirety.
I drew a boundary. I drew a boundary. No, you just did it. I drew a boundary of abusive and cruel. You are not taking the car. Because if you refuse to do wifely things, then I will go pick up the groceries.
There's no groceries. I'd be happy.
Steaks, wood pellets, my grill. I know it's an unreasonable request, but I'll go do it. How about you first? Hillary, how do you respect the man? Yes, other than man. Other than man. You see love and respect. No. Other than man. No, you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you're not taking the car.
Steven,
you are not.
Then I will ask them to pick me back. Would you like me to ask?
Oh, that's right.
It's not correct, Steven.
Get an Uber.
Okay, Steven, I can't.
Feeling some constraints?
Steven.
Like, I can't
Steven.
go. Listen to me. You want to walk out right now? Listen to me. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to my parents. I can't call my friends. I can't be home. You're going to take the car and leave me here. Hillary, just think of how boxed in you've made me.
What do you need me to pick up? I'll get it. I'll be back when I'm back.
No, that doesn't work either. You'll be back when you're back. That doesn't work either.
Do you understand the difference between my life being set to the second and you going, I'll be back when I'm back?
Steven?
And they can't do it. Can you do that? The only way out of this is discipline and respect. It's the only way out of it, or we're at an impasse.
We are at an impasse.
Good. Because you can't have any discipline and respect.
Steven.
Yeah. There you go. You throw your hand, you give up so easily.
I don't give up, Steven.
Hillary,
Steven?
you give up so easily. I just said the only way out of this is discipline and respect. You said, then we're at an impasse.
Steven, no, we are at an impasse, okay? I love you, but Steven, your abuse is sick. Your abuse
Watch it.
is sick.
Watch it. Watch it.
I'm gonna let go. I'll get what you need me to get. And I need some space. We need to just stop engaging for a little bit, okay? I love you. I love you very much.
I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you. And the fact is, when I go, look, I need you to do A, B, C, and D, you just be disciplined about it, you go, no. But I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some gloves. No. But I love you more than life itself. That's not fair. That's not fair, and it's disingenuous. Hillary, you're right. We're at an impasse. Become someone that's you need, day in and day out, worthy of a wife. No, not as a wife. I didn't say as a wife. As a wife. Hillary, come on now.
I'm not gonna engage. I'm not gonna engage anymore. I'm gonna go. I'll text me what you need. I'll get you what you need. I love you. I'm committed to you.
Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm not gonna.
Are you committed enough to do those things? You're not committed to anything. You're not committed to anything. You just said I love you. I'm committed to you. Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves.
I need to
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things? Are you committed enough to do those things?
I'm gonna just
Walk the dogs. Put on some gloves. Are you committed enough to get the medication the dogs take? No, you take Betty.
All right. So there's more thoughts from Candace, but I wanted to stop it here so we could chit chat about this video a little bit. There's some comments in here talking about why did they only have one car? Let's see here. 2 jump cuts, so the edits in the timing. Go ahead, Soonie.
She is engaging in this entire argument. She picks up the doggy leash. She puts it down. She walks. She picks up, put it down. You're so afraid of him. And you've been dealing with this crazy abuse, but you're continuing to engage. She could have said, you know what? Okay, you go grocery shopping. I'm going to sit down. You continue the fight. If you're so scared and you're going through so much abuse, why would you continue having a discussion in which you feel abused? Why did you pick up the doggy leash 4 times, pick it up, drop it? Walk to the table, pick something up, drop it. You are still engaging with him the entire freaking time. And you're gaslighting the shit out of him. Steven, I love you and I'm committed to you. He didn't ask you about commitment and he didn't ask you if you loved him. He said, put on some gloves. Take the dog for a walk. Did you notice in the beginning, there's no groceries in the house? Why is there no groceries in the house? That's just me. Oh, shoot. You're frozen. Uh-oh.
Oh, that was the best frozen. You were like,
is that me or her?
But
I'm so confused right now.
It says connection. You have to choose. I can hear. Are you?
What is going on?
She's having connection issues.
No, it's not me.
No, but you keep cutting out. Am I cutting out?
It's you.
Stand by. We're trying. Are you getting the message from Restream?
No, you have to.
Because you're freezing.
You're. Just refresh. Refresh the screen. It's not me. Okay. It's not me. Okay. I knew it wasn't me. I'm gonna look at some of these comments while we're doing this. Soonie's phone. Mo is glitching. I know. Um, hopefully she comes back in and it's better. Yeah, it's got all right. You got all your bars. That was you.
Okay, got it.
Were you able to hear everything I said?
Yeah, I was able to hear
Okay.
you.
Um, yeah, I don't find this to be a battered woman. I find her to be engaging in the entire fight. In fact, encouraging it by gaslighting him at some points. Um, but here we go. This is why I tell you, I do not like when people do this anecdotal bullshit. Your experience is not hers. You lived yours. We're watching 3 minutes of a 10-year marriage and putting our opinions and mouths on it. I don't have to be in an abusive situation or relationship to understand relationship dynamics. This is not a battered woman. This is not a woman who has been experiencing abuse. This is a woman who is choosing to argue because she can't get her way. If your man is asking you, fine, when are you coming back? I'll be back when I'm back. What the fuck is that?
And I will say this, there's a difference between emotionally abusive and physically abusive too. But if you were scared of being physically abused, I don't think you would say to this person's comment that said you say things to calm the conversation, right? So if that's what she was trying to do, then she wouldn't be like, I'll be back when I'm back. Deal with it.
Exactly.
Because that would be definite. Yeah, that would be like a definite, shit starter. Now, this footage, if you guys didn't see it in the bottom, was from June of 2021. Okay. So a lot of people have also said, well, we were still in COVID. There were no lockdowns, I don't think, in June of 2021, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. So some people were saying they've been locked up together, and I get that. I understand that. Her family released a statement saying that she had been hiding his mentally and emotionally abusive behavior from friends and family. They married in 2000, and they have been locked in a contentious divorce since 2021, so probably shortly after or right around this time. Crowder has claimed that the disturbing footage, which was released by journalist Yashir Ali in a Substack, was misleadingly edited. Okay. So I want to address that comment. I don't know for sure because I'm not a master at video footage, but I happen to fall upon these nerdy dudes playing Minecraft, like on one of those Discord channels. And they were actually discussing this video footage. And one of the guys was like an expert on Ring cameras and said that Ring cameras only record for a certain like period of time, and then at which time they'll stop if there's really not a lot of movement, and then it'll pick up again when it detects motion. But what I will say is we don't know what happened before this conversation, because as you saw, it started like in the middle of a combo, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. All we know
Thank
is they
you.
were talking about this dog that needed to get his medication. She's 8 months pregnant. I guess he's wanting her to put on gloves to administer the medication. And she's not listening to him. Okay. Now we don't know why. We don't know why she's not listening to him. And then he makes mention of there not being groceries that he needs, and she's not being wifely, right? Now, being wifely is subjective to whoever's relationship. What is wifely to me may not be wifely to you, right? I said to Soonie earlier, your duties as a husband and wife have to work for your relationship. I get that there is a whole biblical definition of how a wife and husband should be, but not everybody is biblical and not everybody runs their marriage that way. This could be completely normal for them. Okay. So if this was just a regular video and there was no divorce, Stephen wasn't famous, Candace didn't make her comments, in my opinion, this could very well be a normal toxic discussion between two people who are just used to talking to each other this way, because that does exist. And I know it exists because I have friends that have relationships like that.
Mhm.
They talk to their significant other reckless. And to an outsider, they would be like, oh my God, they're on the verge of a divorce. No, this is normal for these people. I
I
don't think
agree
him
with that.
having one car. I don't think him having one car is all that normal. Do you? Unnormal. I think it's whatever.
Very common.
Yeah.
It's very common. Um, I don't find anything he said there alarming. It's not like, oh my God, he said that. Who cares if she's pregnant? I've had 3 children. I'm pretty sure me and my husband have gotten into it while I was pregnant. I didn't die. I didn't fall apart. There's nothing wrong with my child. My children were born healthy. Like, I don't know. I just think there is this is what I truly think. The women in this movement are showing their true colors. That's what I think. I think there's a lot of people who pretend to be about this. Oh, First Amendment. Who cares what people say? You need to stop being sensitive. It's not how we live. Facts over feelings, all those things. And then you get put in a scenario where facts over feelings is right here in front of you, and you're resorting to feelings. He's a
Mhm.
monster. He's a narcissist. He's abusive. What is abuse?
Right.
What makes someone an abuser? Because what I just watched is what Mo said. 2 adults minding their GD business, having a discussion, and you don't like the way they're discussing as the viewer. So because you don't like it, you feel it's abuse. There is no
Yeah.
proof, because there are people asking, there's no proof he said he was going to F her up. There is no physical proof, no verb. We can't hear it. We can't see it. It doesn't exist.
Hmm.
The only way we know it exists is because someone said so.
Right.
So you're
And the
going off
guy,
of what someone said.
right. And that guy, Yashir Ali, in his Substack post, he said, I know that was said because I saw the proof of it myself. So my next question was, that's why I say this is very calculating, is if you put this out, and I'm going to talk about this comment up here in a secondary comment because it was kind of missed because it goes quickly. But if you decided I'm going to put this video out as proof, okay, why not put the part where he says I'm going to F you up? Because that would have been the smoking gun right there. That would have changed everything, because now to hear a man tell his pregnant wife, I'm going to F you up, is going too far. I get that people are saying, I would never tell my pregnant wife to take an Uber. That's you.
Exactly.
Okay. Let me tell you something. When my daughter was little, and I was pregnant with my, actually, it was pregnant before my son. Ultimately, I had a miscarriage. I spent the majority of that pregnancy bleeding a lot in the early stages. And I was constantly waking up in the middle of the night and having to go to the emergency room. Okay. I told my husband, like, I'm not going to bring our baby to an emergency room. You have to go to work in the morning. This is like the third or fourth time that I've had to deal with this. I put myself, at the time, there was no Ubers. I put myself in a cab and took myself to the emergency room. So that tells you right there. My husband's not a monster. He wasn't a jerk at the time. I literally said to him, I'm not going to bring our daughter to a hospital. I'm not going to wake everybody up in the middle of the night. It is what it is, you know? So I'm saying that to say that everybody's situation is different.
Definitely is.
Soonie goes to the emergency room all the time, and her husband stays home with the kids.
Exactly. He's not with me. In fact, I can give you a real life story that just happened. My husband had to work, and we went camping as a family, and he says, babe, I need you to set up the camp. You think you can handle it? And I went and set up the camp by myself. Now of course, my wife friends are like, "Girl, I'm not doing that." Like, what? I would not be
Me.
setting anything up. You are. I can't believe you're doing this. You're a good wife. You weren't the only one, but I did it. And someone else might deem what my husband asked me to do is just too much. Why can't you do it? You're the man. Why does she have to set it up? On top of she got the kids, she got this, she's got that. But I made it work because I'm capable of putting a tent together,
And
and he
P.S.
doesn't
She sent
have
me
to
a
be
video.
there.
She
I
sent me a
did.
video of her doing it. I was gonna say we should show it, but your kids are in the video, and I don't want to show your
Yeah.
kids. But she sent me a sped up video, like a time lapse video, and I was like, "Wow, This wasn't no rickety dink tent, y'all. This was like a big ass tent, like a 10-person tent." I would have
Come
been
on.
like, "I'll be sitting here by the campfire waiting on you to come put the tent." Mo doesn't do tents. Okay, I will camp all day long, but I do not assemble tents.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I wanted to show this because this didn't make sense when you're watching the video, but he says, "Hillary, how do you respect the men?" This is when they're talking about the groceries, right? And then this comes up, "The other man you see." Okay. So when I saw that, I was like, "The other man you see," because if you go back to another part of the video and they're talking about the Uber, and she says, "Well, how do you want me to get there?" He says, "I don't know, take an Uber." Or she says, who do you want me to call?" And he says, "Is that a threat?" Almost as if there was some type of infidelity, and I know that he said there was no infidelity, but
Mhm.
to me, I was hearing that there
Mm.
was some other man there, because she said, "Okay, I'll call somebody to come pick me up. Who do you want me to call?" And he said, "Is that a threat?" And then he said, "Take an Uber." Yeah. And for you to be like, "Well, I'll be back when I'm back."
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to say. Like, where are you going? You're just going to be
Right.
8 months pregnant driving around in the hot. It's hot. Dallas is
Girl,
hot.
girl. Can we just get to the nitty-gritty? What 8-month pregnant woman with twins wants to be even walking around grocery shopping or doing anything?
Right.
Or even leaving to go somewhere for an extended period of time? Because I know I didn't enjoy it. I wanted to be home sitting on my butt
Yeah.
doing nothing. If I wasn't, I lived with my mom for my pregnancy, so if it wasn't like me having to get up and go make myself something, I sat my
Mhm.
ass down when
Right.
I was pregnant, when we finally moved out to Japan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guarantee you, y'all, because I can see her belly, her belly's hanging out. She's barefoot. She look hot. She look red. Okay. Dallas in June is the hottest it's about to get. It's like it's over 100 degrees easy. Okay. So for you to be driving around in your car for no reason at all, unless you're going somewhere, because she said, "I'll be back when I'm back." I don't know. But here she is saying, "I will ask someone to pick me up. Who would you like me to ask?" Get an Uber, Steven says. I'm trying to see where he says, oh, right here. "I will ask someone to pick me up." Trying to get it like 1 second.
Is that a threat?
Yeah, but where's the part? Hold on. Let me just play it right there. Oh, there it was. "The other man you see." Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Ooh, the tea.
She said the T.
"The other man you see." So that's what he says when she says, "Who do you want me to pick up?" Is that a threat? The other man you see?
Mm.
Okay. So Hillary, I don't know if the right move for you was to put this video out, because Mo with the pause skills, I mean, a regular person, and I know Candace says she was doing some like girly FBI work, trying to figure out if y'all were married, but Mo with the pause skills, I will break this conversation down. And that right there stood out to me, that there's something going on. So if there's something that would piss your husband off and start to make you like say, "Hey, are you doing your wifely things?" is if he feels like you doing other things with somebody else
Mm.
on the side.
Now for
Bet you
the
haven't seen
confusing
that.
part, because people are confused about when this threat of "I will fuck you up" happened. So I'm just gonna read. This is talking about the entire exchange they had. Steven gets angrier and suggests that if she's committed to their marriage, she should put on gloves to give the dog medicine, which is, this clears up what people are asking. Why were they talking about the dog and the medicine? She's pregnant. The medication she would be giving to the dog could potentially harm. He asked her to put on gloves. Was toxic for pregnant women and to walk their dogs, which is what I just went over. As they headed inside, Steven got angrier and angrier, and by his admission via audio, I reviewed, yelling angrily, and said, "I will F you up." According to both Crowders, Steven immediately pulled back and realized what he said, but by that point, Hillary was frightened and left the house. In review of the audio, video, and text messages, Steven Crowder repeatedly admits that he has volcanic temper. He has a volcanic temper, and he's been working through therapy to control it. Now, like you said, where's you have the audio? You've reviewed it. It's there. Why not put it out? Why leave everybody in the suspense of just listening to what you have said, right? Well, he says it, so it must have happened. Well, he reviewed the audio and the text messages, so it must have happened. We don't know that. And I'm not going to hop off the porch and say, "Oh, yep, he did it, and this is what he said," when I have not heard a damn thing. We don't hear it.
Yeah. And it's a very important piece.
Extremely important.
Yeah. Now, since then, since then, Candace has required a full-throated apology, which, you know how I am with words in the English language. Like, what is a full-throated apology? Like,
A sincere apology.
I'm sorry.
It's just a way to be dramatic.
Yeah. That's a dramatic apology. But she is requiring a full-throated apology from Mr. Crowder on insinuating that she was saying they were getting a divorce and basically starting this entire thing. So,
can we since we got through what happened in the video, everybody saw the breakdown. You saw it. We've all watched it a bunch of different times. Can I ask the infamous question? What happened beforehand? Here, I wrote a few questions, and I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask the audience.
okay.
All right. I said the right is set out to destroy men with 3 minutes of video and one side of the story. If this was flipped, we would be asking what he did to set this woman off. Why is nobody asking what happened beforehand?
Yeah, and that's something you and I talked about, because it's funny when a police video comes out. When a police video comes out, what is the first comment that is always made? Well, it's only a couple minutes video. We need the full video. We need to see what happened, because probably this police officer had a reason for doing what he did.
He had
a reason. He had a reason, okay, for doing what he did. That's very important, and we bring it up because we have, Soonie says this all the time. We have to be consistent about how we look at things, right? Especially when it's almost apples to apples. And some people might say, well, a police video is not apples to apples. Okay, fine. I'll give you one that is. There was a very infamous case, okay, that happened a year, 6 months ago, okay? Some of you guys may have been aware of this case. I was obsessed. And that case is the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. Very similar situation. Okay, we have two very a public figure. So there you go. A very messy divorce. Check. Okay. The woman claiming emotional and mental abuse. Check. Okay. Let's see what Candace's take was on this situation.
through elements of this case in case you haven't been following it. I have, to the best of my ability. I've watched as much of it as possible. And what's become abundantly clear is that the public has now completely flipped on Amber Heard, because it turns out that when you actually look at evidence and you don't just hashtag believe women, but you try to hashtag believe facts, you might find out that the person that you've been celebrating, the person that you've been applauding, the person that you've been feeling bad for is actually the aggressor. Take a look.
Hold on. So we're going to look at her, because what I want you guys to remember is how convincing this woman was on the stand. Okay. As the case progressed, we were like, well, you're a damn liar. Because every time his side pulls up evidence, their evidence is much more damning than your little poor sad ass tears on the stand. Okay. But before this case came to the public view where we could see it all play out in a trial, nobody gave Johnny Depp any type of leeway. It was hashtag believe all women. He was literally at the height of the Me Too movement. Okay. That's literally where the Me Too movement almost started, because it was like Rose McGowan and then this. And for all we knew, she was the victim because he's the man. It makes sense, right? This cute little tiny white woman and Captain Jack Sparrow. There's no way. We know Johnny has a drug problem. We know he was a drinker. He has to be the aggressor, right? But let's see what she says.
No, I didn't want to leave him. I didn't want this to be the reality. I didn't want to have the man I was in love with. I know you don't come back from that. You know, I'm not dumb. I know you can't hit a woman. You can't hit a man. You can't hit anyone. You can't just hit somebody because they... I knew it was wrong, and I knew that I had to leave him. And that's what broke my heart, because I didn't want to leave him. I thought if I got up out of that room...
Another similarity. I love you, Steven. I love you more than anything. There's that word love. So just because somebody throws the word love around doesn't mean that they actually love you. Just like friendship.
Leave the best thing that ever happened to me. And
the best thing that ever happened to her.
The best thing that ever happened to her while she's standing up here talking about how he beat the shit out of her. You see how manipulative women can be. Okay, let's keep going.
Wish I could sit here and say I stood up and I walked out of that house and I drew a line and I stood up for myself. But I was just looking at the dirty carpet trying to will myself to get up.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't believe that? Heavy breathing, a lot of head shaking, no tears, very Gone with the Wind style. The dirty carpet. I mean, the dirty carpet that's in her head. How could you not believe that?
Another great face. Oh, I'm sorry, Candace. I'm doing you dirty, leaving you with these bad faces. My bad, girl.
Can we just do one more solid? Can we do one more solid to this?
Sure.
Do you guys remember this infamous tweet? I want people to sit here and look at this. All right. I'm on record calling Amber Heard a liar from day one. Many people don't realize that an abusive sociopath was able to seamlessly destroy a man because of the Me Too campaign.
Ooh.
But what's worse is what's on the next line. Never hashtag believe women. Instead, listen to women and men. Now, I have watched multiple people speak out on this. I've heard multiple people say they don't care to hear Steven's side. Have you not heard the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
That video was enough for me. I don't need anything else. Where is the context? Where is the allowing people to defend themselves? Where is the innocent before proven guilty? Where is this is not enough information? We need this, we need that, the third. What happened to never hashtag believe women? What happened to that? Why did it go out the window when it came to Steven Crowder? You want to know what my theory is? My theory is he pissed off the wrong people. He decided, I don't really care about this quote unquote fake friendship that we have going on. I don't like the way you're doing business. I don't like these contracts. You know what he said? Send bloop. And he made a video and put it out. We all know why Steven Crowder. We all know. Come on. He did. He was like, well, fuck it. Bloop. It's out.
Yeah.
Now what?
And you know what? And listen, y'all, I'm saying all of my stuff. No, know this. I am not a fan of Steven Crowder. I think he is the ultimate bitch beta. Okay. I do not like him. And I love Candace. So this is not a dig on Candace. This is not a dig on Candace. It is not a dig on Tatum because I get that him and Candace are friends and that's his sister, as he put it. I would come to my friend's defense too. Just know right now that if Soonie was in the wrong, I would come to Soonie and tell her she was in the wrong. I would not do it publicly.
For sure.
Because I respect her enough and I would hope that she would do the same thing to me, right?
Yeah.
That is a friend. That we're showing you guys this because we want you to see that this situation is being looked at very differently, and we have to ask ourselves why. It's very like convenient, all this timing, right? In this situation. So we're doing this to kind of teach you guys, I think, more so how to look at something objectively. And we're two people that have a lot of differing opinions about what we're seeing here. And they all kind of make sense in a way. And to me, they're fresh opinions. We're not regurgitating what other people have said. I have watched Fresh and Fit talk about this. I have watched Brandon talk about this. I've watched Candace talk about this.
Yeah.
And then I watched some smaller YouTube channels talk about this. And I think we have a very unique opinion when it comes to this situation.
I mean, I'm just going to echo what Candace said. We have to hold each other accountable. And I don't think she's above reproach, and neither is anybody else. This is a moment where there's a bunch of hypocrisy going on. And we shouldn't have to preface anything we're saying. This is not an attack on anybody. And the fact that you have to waste 10, 15 minutes or however long you want to spend on it, not you personally, but just in general, that's stupid. It's clear that we have respect for these people because I don't speak out on everything that comes out in the background about them. In fact, I ignore a lot of it because it's stupid. There's no reason to bring it up. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is not hypocrisy. What happened to never #believe women? We need to listen to both sides instead. And we're only listening to one side. No one cares about Steven. He's a monster. He's this, he's that. We have the same information. I don't see monster. So either I'm tripping, you tripping, or we only have one side to the story, and we should wait until he says what he has to say on the backhand to defend himself. And then that's when you compare and contrast. Well, this doesn't make sense, Steven. You said this.
Yeah. So I wanted to put this comment up. Somebody said Candace is being used as a puppet for the Daily Wire. I don't believe that because I give
no.
Candace is way too smart to let anybody use her as a puppet. Okay, this is her own opinion, and that's fine that this is her own opinion. I'm just commenting on it, saying I would have never taken the bait on this and talked about it publicly because I don't give a shit about Steven. I don't give a shit about Hillary. I'm thinking about these kids and how this is going to play out for them because they're going to grow up and now see this play out on the internet. It's sad. And I know that nobody cares about the kids. They're little, which, by the way, when Steven said, somebody, put my kids in danger, who's threatening 3-year-olds or 2-year-olds or however old they are? Like, who is threatening that you're 2-year-old? Nobody saw any threat. And if they did, show me the threat that somebody was like, I'm going to do something to your kids. Nobody did that. Okay. Here's my thing on Steven. And I say this because I watched an interview with Ryan, his sidekick, who I think was like his second, person on the show that he would like play off of. He was one of the people, I think there were 2 people. It may have been not Gay Jared and this guy Ryan. that did not sign an NDA, so they were able to talk about it. But both of those people have since left the show. They explained why they left the show, and their reasoning was this: that Steven is a very controlling person. He records everybody's conversations. That's a known thing that he does. So whether you're his friend or you're not his friend, he just records conversations. He ran his show like he was running a third grade classroom, pretty much. The people had 5 minutes to be on time. There was no leeway, or they had to leave for the day. These people had to give up revenues for their own shows that they were doing that Steven would promote. There was a lot of weird stuff. Essentially, everything he was accusing the Daily Wire of doing to him, he was pretty much doing to his own people. Okay. So I said to Soonie, to me, it speaks to his character as a person. Okay. I say this because, like, okay, I'll use Tatum as an example, because I always hear people say stuff about Tatum, and said, if he's listening, can attest to this, because he was one of those people. He used to be very critical of Tatum. When he finally met Tatum in person, he said, he's just a good dude. He's just a good dude. And Corinne is a really nice person. And I get that there's things that Corinne says or Brandon says that rub people the wrong way. But regardless of all that, when you meet them and you get to know them, you can't say anything bad about them, because they're just good people. They may say things that rub you the wrong way on the internet, but I say things that rub people the wrong way on the internet, but I'm a good person. Soonie's the same way. She's a good person. She may say stuff that triggers people, but she's a good person. So I only judge people so far by what I see on the internet. These people who know Steven on a personal level didn't necessarily say he was a bad guy, but they said he's got some issues. So I felt that was important to the situation with his wife, because maybe if there was a problem there, maybe his personality was a problem in the marriage. It's possible. I don't know it, but it's possible. All right, play this, because this is the guy, Ryan.
I know when to sit back. It's what I did with Anthony for years. It's what I.
Wait, so how were you informed that there is a Don't Talk Light, and what was your reaction?
I was pissed a bit, because I know my job. I know that he talks a lot. I know that he's the star of the show. I know when to throw him what he needs to be thrown. I know when to sit back. It's what I did with Anthony for years. It's what I did next to Artie. It's what I do. I'm not trying to ever steamroll him.
Right.
It was just, hey, don't be funnier. Don't be, and that's the truth. I mean, it sounds bitter, but I knew it was true, because I was pulled aside and I said, and it was, hey, make sure if you're doing a rant or like you guys are riffing, he gets the last word.
You were told this explicitly?
Yes.
Well, is it that maybe he didn't want to talk over you, so that the show is called Louder with Crowder, but not Loudest with Crowder? So
yes.
he wants to at about a 7, but not at a 10. You can understand that.
Yeah, I think that was it. It was all about the title, and I wasn't respecting it, so there needed to be a light. And I had to make sure that, he got the last thing. So even if I did have a funnier joke, I would just leave it out. It was important for the fans to not hear it. I always felt that my job as a comedian was to leave out the good one.
That's it. I don't know. I've never heard of that, to be honest. I mean, I don't feel like that's a thing, but maybe, what do I know? I've never been a co-host.
I've heard it in radio a couple times. Very rarely. Okay. Yeah, but I have heard of it where it's just the star needs to look like the star. So I guess, it's his show, fine. But I also feel like somebody who's so pro free speech and non-censorship, he was really about censorship.
Okay.
What do you have to say, Soonie? She got a look on her face.
I don't find any of that important. Like, who cares? And they're all. I'm gonna bring up all the shit that has come out, okay, and I'm gonna. He's being accused now of exposing himself to men. He's being accused of putting his nuts on people's shoulders. He's being like, all this stuff is coming out.
His nuts on
All
people's
this
shoulders.
stuff is coming out. Not even, you want to see him? Not even kidding, bro.
Who accused him of putting his nuts on their shoulders?
Former employees have come out. Okay.
Wow.
Look, former staffers worked for the show at different times from its inception through in 2016 through 2022. The vast majority had left the company voluntarily. They requested anonymity because they either feared retaliation or had signed NDAs. So you're already in breach of contract because you're speaking on something that you're not supposed to be talking about. And now you want to have some sort of anonymous. Look, I get it, keeping your sources anonymous, but that's having integrity to the story. That's completely different. Not you blasting someone and coming out and saying a bunch of things and like throwing a rock and then hiding. He did this, but I don't want him to know that I said it. That this stuff just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and I'll say this, okay? The interview that Dave did, because Soonie asked, well, why did he do this interview? And I said, well, because people were asking, hey, Dave, are you coming back to the show? Like they thought the guy that was there was just like a fill-in. So he felt like he needed to address it. And I felt like he did a very good interview. I don't think it was about him bashing Steven. He wasn't trying to say anything salacious. He was just like, hey, this was my personal experience with him. Now, these people that are coming out talking about he put his nuts on my shoulders, and even the statement that Candace made about him sending her a flirty text, right? It's how I handle it with my kids when when one of them's in trouble or when they were little and one of them was in trouble and they'd be like, oh yeah, well, that one time that you did this, I'm like, why are you bringing that up now? Because if it's wrong and that's why you're bringing it up, why didn't you bring it up when it happened?
Exactly.
Right?
That's why I'm not buying any of this shit.
It's retaliatory, but it's retaliatory. But I think in some cases you have to look at it like what's the intent behind what you're doing, right? Like I think these things like crazy stuff saying, oh, this, he's exposing his genitals and come on. First of all, you're working for a comedian
male staffers. I want you to see where this is going.
He was a man in a dress. Are we surprised? He was wearing dresses. He was looking hella happy.
Look, now you're feeding into the narrative, which is why I don't feel like it's important to talk about. Well, look, he dresses. I think that shit's cringe. I don't support that at all. But look,
okay. Remember, she said that, people.
I said it multiple times. Crowder regularly exposed his genitalia to male staffers. Crowder was known for rubbing his testicles on employees. Jared was asleep in the last row. Steven was in front, and he was joking about what he was going to do. The staffer recalled. He climbed over and dropped his junk on top of Jared's shoulders. To me, this sounds like white boy humor. Did we not all grow up watching Jackass?
Right. I was about to say.
Nobody gave a this is what, come on, bro.
And they're all comedians. All those guys, including Crowder, they're all comedians. And some of them have some really raunchy shows. Like, so again, and I'm going to go back to Steven because he was like, Christian conservatives. Okay, come on, dude. Stop with the Christian conservative. I'm so sick and tired of Christian conservatives being blamed for shit. Come on, shut the. Anyways.
Crowder regularly berated his father and the show's talent booker in front of the staff. Steven would say, I'm supposed to get stars. That's the quote.
Watch it.
Watch it.
Watch it. Watch it. We need to get that sound. We need to get it. Watch it.
Look. All I'm saying is we don't have enough information to label him an abuser.
Anything.
I think that is a very egregious thing to be accusing a man of, is being some sort of abuser in a situation where a woman is vulnerable. I don't agree with that. It's no different than rape to me. You wouldn't be able to just put a video out with a guy doing this barely touching you and him saying sexual things, and you say, he raped me.
Mm-hmm.
What? He
Yeah.
said some things you didn't like. Yeah. Maybe it made you feel uncomfortable. Sexual harassment, you may have a maybe, but we're labeling him a monster and an abuser, a narcissist, all these things off of 3-minute videos and other people's accounts.
Mm-hmm.
All these people want to be anonymous because they're afraid of retaliation. You don't think people can logically deduce, well, I know when I said this around this person and this person was in the room and you two were here, so naturally I know it's coming from you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
come
Yeah.
on.
And when you say, like, I think he pissed off the wrong people and this is all kind of like now they're going after him, it's not too far fetched because, we're witnessing a lot of that going on right now, even in our
Yeah.
little small conservative community where you say the wrong thing about somebody. And there's even people who, like, on purpose go after people just to get a reaction back. Like that dude, Laker, whatever, that constantly
Yeah.
goes after Bryson. Like he says some wild shit, and I know it's just to get Bryson to respond so that
Yeah.
he can get Bryson's viewers to like check his page out and whatever.
Right.
That's how you do it, by the way, people. That's how you do it. If you want to, you got to go after somebody. So, people also know if you go after Candace, she's going to talk about you.
Yep.
Look
She
at Kim
is.
Klasick. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't. Kim Klasick.
Right. Sometimes. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
just
And
saying.
I'll say this too. Sometimes I completely agree with Candace and how she responds to things.
Yeah,
in
me
this
too.
particular in this particular case, I personally wouldn't have handled it this way.
Look, everybody was feeling some type of way about Candace going at Kimberly Klasick, and I was like,
yeah, I was like,
she
go for
questioned,
it.
first of all, she tried to pull Candace's black card and say black people don't listen to you. They ain't listening to you neither, sis. Just because you made a video, she made a video saying you can listen to Cardi B on a Friday, go to church, like go to the club on a Saturday, and then go to church on Sunday and vote on a Monday. You could do those things. Like, do you remember that video? I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck
Yeah.
is this?
But she was also, Candace also was like, listen, you want to play with me? I'm about to expose your FEC stuff. And now we're going to find out you're a stripper. So here, I've said this before. If you're going to go after Candace, make sure you have sweeped your closet up. Okay. Because Candace comes back with a vengeance. Okay. She does not play. And because her and Brandon are in business together and they're friends, just already know if you attack his sister, he's going to defend her. Right or wrong, he's going to defend her. And I understand that. And I don't think, I'm going to say this. I don't think Brandon would come out and tell Candace she was wrong publicly. I think if he really believed she was wrong, he would probably do it privately.
Yeah, probably.
But he does defend her publicly, and that's his right to do. If somebody came at me about you and I was like, this is complete, in my opinion, this is completely wrong, I would publicly defend you. I would publicly say, I think this is wrong. And that's what he did. So it's like, we can't hate on him for that. We can disagree with his reasoning for it. But yeah, there's no hate towards them for that. I just think that it was handled wrong. And I think that when it comes to Brandon, I wouldn't have even commented. I wouldn't have even inserted myself. I would have been like, Candace, this is all you, girl. You know I stand behind you. But I'm not even going to talk about this because he gets heat already for everything he says.
Can I also make this point?
Yeah.
And this is going to make people mad, but I don't care.
Of course.
And when I was watching Candace's response, she was saying, isn't she supposed to be a Christian? How does she support this vicious and disgusting attack on Daily Wire? Right? I couldn't help but think back to what happened this past weekend with Bryson and Conservative Ant. I know you saw it. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Who came to Bryson's defense when Christians were supporting homosexuality and continue to support homosexuality? Like, why is this behavior of him releasing a recording of Daily Wire, why does that call into question his Christianity? but supporting homos doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's one,
Yeah.
and I wrote it in big bold letters because that was one thing that bothered me when I was listening to the litmus test of what makes a Christian and what doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
We're not supposed to be supporting homosexuality. We're not even supposed to be intermingling with that crowd, but we do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not deemed as vicious and disgusting. It's deemed they're humans. We should treat them as such.
Yeah. And that was another. I'm glad you brought that up because Candace said when I think it was like her second video about Crowder, she said, you know, Christians want to be very like choosy about what they criticize. And now all of a sudden, we're not going to talk about Steven Crowder and what's going on with him and his wife. We're not going to condemn the treatment that he's giving his wife as Christians, that we know that this is wrong of a man to do. Well, you should also be condemning homosexuality. Now, she might say, well, I did condemn homosexuality. I said I'm not a supporter of the gay community. We talked about that last week. But you didn't really say that. You said you're not a supporter of the ones that are ostentatious and like, you know, loud and drag queens and all this other stuff. You were talking about the very extreme cases, but when it comes to people who are friends of yours, they get a pass, right? But like we'll talk about. I want to talk about the conservative Ant and Bryson thing because I totally I respect Bryson's opinion about what the Bible. It's not his opinion. I respect what Bryson says about what the Bible states about homosexuality. I think he is 100% correct. There is no argument. There is no gray area. It is very black and white. What conservative Ant was upset about was a comment that a girl made using some homosexual expletives like flaggot and homo. And Bryson also uses those words. And I understand from conservative Ant, who is a gay man, which he said, why do we have to go to those lengths to get people to side with you by calling people names? And that I agree with. You know, I don't like the N-word. I don't feel like we have to say the N-word to get our point across. I also don't like when women, and yes, I'm saying that I think men maybe have a different standard here, but for me personally, when women use one F-bomb after another in a conversation or whatever bad word. And I'm somebody who cusses. I'm not perfect. I'm somebody who cusses. But when you start to get, in my opinion, ignorant with the words you choose, and you can't make your point without being offensive or being disgusting in your language, then do you have a valid point? Or is anybody going to hear it because they're so hung up on you insulting them or cursing them out? That was my opinion about that situation that Soonie has pulled up here.
There's no nice way to tell someone that their lifestyle is wrong and in opposition to God.
That's the nice way, the way you just said it.
No, that still comes off as harsh. And they would tell me, well, how do you know? How do you know God wouldn't accept me? It snowballs into a circular conversation. That's just not necessary. And conservative, I'm sorry, but I'm going to disagree with you wholeheartedly. His response was unwarranted and unnecessary. Nobody directed it towards him. He decided to make it about him, and the people decided to hop on board and defend him. This girl has every right to say, and I'm going to say the word. Actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want to get banned on Face.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can say
YouTube. She said flaggots and slurs need to repent. That is what the Bible says. He decided to. I'm actually going to play this video because, in my opinion, this dude is absolutely wrong, and he decided to attack an entire group of people by labeling them what he says in this video.
But I think that voices on the right need to pump the brakes. I used to like this person, but the far-right Christian group, y'all need to take it down a notch, because I'm not going to be called that word. which she was just using generally. She wasn't calling me specifically that publicly. But I think that voice.
This is a boy who
So,
cried wolf.
well, he said that. He said she didn't say it to me. She used it generally
So why get offended?
because he didn't like the word.
So
Okay, so if somebody black doesn't like that you use the N word and they find it offensive, you're just going to say, so?
I say so to you. What makes you think I wouldn't say it to a black person?
You do. No, I'm saying you, but I'm saying in general, right? Like in general, would somebody hold that same ruling? I'm not saying my opinion is the correct opinion. I'm just saying it's my opinion that I understand. I can still tell you your way of life is sinful and against the way God intended it to be, and you're going to go to hell. I do not say F's and whatever need to repent because you're going to hell. No, you can say homosexuals are going to go to hell. So I mean, I think people can say that that is being nice or you're trying to skirt around. Well, I guess, but do you want people to hear you or do you want people to just hear that word and just get triggered?
Let me ask you this. He said something that's triggering to Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Why is nobody coming to our defense?
What
Why
part was
why is nobody checking conservative Ant for literally labeling us what the FBI and the CIA and Congress, matter of fact, this entire government that has been trying to demonize Christians, it's right here. You labeled us a far right Christian group, which is associated with white supremacy and all this other shit. What makes us far right Christians? And why has nobody come to our defense of him saying this? We're
Hold on,
not far
explain
right Christians.
explain what you just put up. Like what was that? Was that attached to that post that you just showed or the
No,
video?
this was a memorandum that came out that showing what Congress found, and they found that white supremacists and other far right extremists are the most significant domestic terrorism threat facing the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Why does he get to take those buzzwords,
Mm-hmm.
attach them to us, and it's perfectly fine because
Mm-hmm.
he feels slighted as a gay man? It's like the whole it's like the scenario you brought up with your kids. Well, they said this, and then you come in, well, they said this time. You don't want to be called the F word, but you want to call us far right extremists,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and nobody checks him on that. People come
Mm-hmm.
to his defense and, oh, you shouldn't say this, and what, you have to come in kindness. They're not greeting us with kindness.
Yeah.
Every interaction I've had with this group of people, it's never come in kindness. It's never come, and I want to understand you. It's always been a forceful, no, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to conform you because what you believe is wrong.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see what he put up there. Now that you're showing it to me, I agree with what you're saying in that respects. Um I don't think it's right, and I hate that. Like I said earlier, I hate the white Christian nationalist bullshit and the Christian extremist bullshit. It's like, can we just have a conversation? Yes, we can talk about whatever we want. We can have whatever opinion we want to have, but does it always have to be I'm going to call you this name and I'm going to do that? It's just it personally for me that's what gets me to not tune into some of these lives that I see because it turns into that and I just get exhausted and I'm like, here we go again with the insulting and we're never going to get anywhere because now people are arguing. This it's a distraction.
Well, let me ask
And
this. How far have we gotten with your method and your method of let's just all talk?
I will say before the age of the internet and lives and all this stuff, and you and I have talked about this because you said, well, you were living in an age of not knowing, right? Like, remember I said to you, I like want to go back to that time
Mm-hmm.
where I didn't know everything that was going on in the world.
Mm.
Be that right or wrong that I didn't know what was going on in the world. I enjoyed my life a lot. I didn't spend time on this, concerned about what was on this. I was outside. I was talking to people. I had real friendships, real conversations. And if that came at the cost of not knowing about foreign policy or what conservative aunt or right wing angel or Brandon Tatum or Soonie Blanks, some of those people, that's their real name, and some of them it isn't. I would be willing to go back to that because it felt so good. And those of you old enough in the chat that know what I'm talking about, there was a time when we really enjoyed life and now we just don't. I tried to do a better job of staying away personally, but like we just don't enjoy life the way we used to. Some of you guys don't know life any different. I do know life different, and it was much better before. Yes, there were gay people. Yes, there were degenerate women. Yes, there were murderers, there were rapists, there were people getting shot by the police, but I wasn't concerned with that. I was concerned with what was in my life.
I don't know. I had the best of both worlds. I grew up in the 90s where there was no entertainment and you played outside. Um, and I grew up in a world where there was social media and we still played outside. We still participated in life. I think I think the difference is we don't condemn wrong anymore. And because we don't condemn wrong, wrong has taken a front seat and it's gotten to the point where people are done being nice. They're done with let's just talk and sort this out. Now it's you're trying to change things. You've already threatened to change the fabric of this country. You're doing it now. You've already called people names, but now those names are being put into FBI and CIA databases. The time for being nice is over. That time period of naivety and just living and kids being able to run around outside and play. I was able to roam all around the city I lived in and come back home at night.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't exist anymore. That world is not this world. It's gone and it's not coming back.
And
So
that's sad.
we can either sit and shoulda, coulda, woulda, or we can understand how to move forward.
Yeah. I guess the moving forward in the state that we're in is what scares me because you use the word we don't condemn wrong anymore. And in my opinion, it's not my job to condemn. The condemning is God's job. And my job is to call it out when I see it. Obviously, now you see it every 20, 30 seconds or however, whatever the rate of your refreshment speed is on your phone. But I grew up in a time where serial killers and rapists still existed, but I played outside because I didn't know because I didn't read the newspaper. I was a little kid. My parents knew, but all they knew was what the newspaper told them, right? So there was no like comment section underneath the article that refreshed every 5 freaking seconds where somebody was like, and then there was this, and then there was this, and did you know this? And here's a link to this. And it's just like constant information that you never stop receiving. Or you're looking for that because you're just like, I need to be the first one to post this. I need to be the first one to know this. If you guys follow me, you will notice that on the weekends, starting Friday after our show, I try to disconnect completely, and you don't see me on the internet on the weekends. And Suni knows she hardly talks to me on the weekends because I chose to disconnect on those days from everything. From everything. So for my own sanity, because I do want to go back to that time, and I'm okay not knowing what's going on the weekend. If I miss something big, it'll be there on Monday and it'll probably be 10 times bigger than it was Friday.
I think that just it has to do with the different time periods that we grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't grow up in a time period where you just didn't know, you know, and I like knowing. I
Mm-hmm.
like being able to prepare 10 years from now, understand what's happening here, looking at behaviors, learning how to read those patterns, and moving forward. It's almost, and I said this about you, it's almost childlike to want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. I can't imagine existing in a world like my children where they're just here, boom, boom, everywhere else they're bumping. They know no evil.
Mm-hmm.
They know no wrong. But you know what's going to happen when they do face it? I'm glad they have parents like me and their dad. But what happens is when kids do face adversity, they don't know what the fuck to do. They don't know what to do because they ain't
Mm-hmm.
never been through nothing, because it's all unicorns and rainbows. No, this is the real world. And this is what
Mm-hmm.
happens in the real world. And I'm going to prepare you for the real world. Sure, we
Yeah.
can shield them for as much as possible, but they go to school.
Mm-hmm.
They hear things. They need to know how to deal with it. So I have no interest in going back. I want to create productive citizens of the future
Mm-hmm.
that find a way to draw us closer to our biblical foundations and actually implement trade-offs
Mm-hmm.
to do something, not to just sit back and exist, but to participate.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
But
see.
do you think, okay, well, in my opinion, because I did you existed in there, you had like a small amount of time where there was no internet, right? When you were growing up, it wasn't all your whole life, right?
No, I didn't have the internet for like 10, 11 years. Like I
Okay.
didn't have a computer. I didn't have any of that.
So I'm 45. You're how old?
32.
32. Okay. So from my time, I have witnessed a decline in society. If all this information is so great, why are we not trending upwards?
Because morality has declined, because we don't call out wrong. You can't have information and then let morality disappear, or nobody's ever held accountable for stuff and then expect in a incline in what happens. You have information and then you have idiots disseminating information because they have no moral compass, no nothing. They're just here and they exist.
But we spend our days having live conversations. I mean, I'm just talking about us, but the whole world does it now, right? We have live conversations, we comment on things, calling things out left and right. Red Pill says the Bible tells us wisdom is more valuable than rubies, but we're getting our wisdom now from the internet. Majority. There are people out there like yourself and me and probably Red Pill that still, and more people that still read books. But believe it or not, people, we got wisdom before the internet. You had to seek it out. And it was pretty accurate because it was written down and it didn't change. And there was nobody AI, right, altering it or creating a false image that really didn't exist. It was actually like a picture taken with a camera that you had to go develop. Um, but it's funny to me that people think there is wisdom on the internet when these days I have to go to 12 different sources before I talk about something because most times than not, it's inaccurate or misreported or taken out of context. Case in point, what we're dealing with right now, what we were talking about earlier. We would have never known any of that. And now we do. And now we consume ourselves with that, right? We obsess over, some people obsess over it. And I just wonder, like, how valuable is the information we're getting? Or are we thinking that it's valuable, but it's really not?
I think that goes along with however you have your worldview. I don't find anything that we do to be invaluable. I find the conversations that we have, they help people in real life. It makes people go off and think something different. Whether we sat here and joked and talked about some dumb topic, it doesn't matter, because when talking about dumb topics, you also infuse wisdom into the situation. And this is how you look at this, or not how you look at it, or how you should. You should go read this book. You should go check this out. We're just in a different time period.
Mm-hmm. But
And
but most people don't go read the book.
I don't believe that. I
I
think
do.
that's what's put out and that's what people believe. But I've talked to countless people outside of the internet that read books
Mm-hmm.
and they function in society like I do. but we're so drawn to think of what's on the internet as reality, and that's what's fucking people up, because the internet is not reality. People, the people you interact, I wouldn't be able to have these conversations in real life if majority of Americans were idiots.
Yeah. Well, okay, that I will say I do love. I love being able to connect to people you wouldn't have been able to connect to normally to have a conversation. That I love. That I think is a great thing. Sometimes I think we don't use it wisely. Real quick, put a 1 in the chat, and Soonie, you and I can put our hands up or down if you guys still have a library card.
I go to the library.
Yes. It's my favorite thing to do. I love the smell of books.
We go there. Actually, I have to return books. Me and my kids get books there all the time. They get 2 chapter books each.
Yeah.
They read them. I don't know. This reminds me of the conversation that I have with Sid. When, because he's much older than he's older than you, and he talks, and I'm like, even my mother, I'm like, we don't live in that time period anymore, and they're all stuck like, well, we need to. We got to go back to this, because if we go back to this, and then I sit back and think, and I'm like, we're here because of y'all. Why the fuck would I go back to that? We're in this situation because nobody decided to pick up a book and read, and we were all la-di-da, letting the government do what the government does. That's not life. Like, we're not meant to sit here and then just enjoy this physical experience. That's not the
But
reward.
we are. That is the
No,
reward.
we're not. We're here for a purpose.
Oh, see, I agree. But you know what's crazy is in the purpose that God put us here for. And people will say, well, God probably gave us the internet or gave us the people that invented it, right? And that could be very well possible. But I think when God wrote the Bible, he wanted us to experience each other. And now there's a different way of us experiencing each other, which that's the part I like, right? We're able to experience each other, and people I never would have talked to a girl named Soonie in Okinawa had it not been for this wretched thing called the internet. But here we are. So there's good things that come out of it. And you and I are smart people, and other people here, that watch us are smart people and use this in a smart way. But my concern is like our kids. Now, your kids are going to be great because you talk to them and you take them to the library. I used to take my kids to the library, and I was like 7 or 8 books, check them out.
Yeah.
And we're going to read them and talk about. And that was like for the summer, they would pick out 8 books for the summer. And that's what they would do. But we're just 2 people, like I'm concerned about some of these other parents that are so busy on their phone that they're not teaching their kids.
But you know what? Those same parents, look, those parents that raise the parents that sit on this sat in front of a TV. So it doesn't matter that it's handheld now. There was an idiot box. That's what my grandma used to call it.
Yeah.
Oh, here, turn on the idiot box. Because people, your brain is rotted when you just sit and look at something all day that doesn't infuse some sort of information or knowledge. But it's the same thing. It's just on steroid now. There's nothing new under the sun.
My TV had 8 channels, okay, that I had to press manually. So I had to go get up from the couch.
I did the same thing.
And I had those. And once you ran out of those 8 channels, you were done, right?
That was it.
And there were only certain times a day, like this whole like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel shit didn't exist. There were only certain times a day that cartoons would come on. So until then, I would be out in the street playing or at school. Now, I think there's like, I can go look on my TV, but there's, I think, over 2,000 channels on that thing. That's insane. Like, I can literally just be like, do, 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 do. Oh, and if I'm bored there, I could just be like, do, 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 because how many freaking apps do I have on my phone? A ton. It's exhausting.
I think you got, look, I got to put you with this generation. I think you just have to grasp that this is where we are and we're never going back. And people are not going to regress back. They're not.
Obviously.
Not ever going to happen.
I miss it.
I miss it too, but I like understanding and knowing.
Yeah.
That's strength.
I get it.
You feel cold. Do you ever read something, understand it, reread it, and then understand it, and you just feel every time I attain knowledge, I feel colossal in a sense, just like
Mhm.
huge. Nobody can tell me anything.
Yeah. Yo, I want to talk about this comment because the other night when I told you I was watching Poltergeist and you're like, "Ew, who watches Poltergeist?" So in the movie Poltergeist, that this comment reminded me of it because I was telling my kids, the TV goes to white noise at midnight or 11 p.m. So when we were young, there was no staying up late because the TV, every channel would cut off at midnight and it would be white noise on the TV and then they would play the national anthem and then it'd go to white noise and then you were done. You had to go to sleep. There was no phone, there was no TV. You had to go to sleep. Okay. Then it slowly regressed to or progressed to now we're going to sell you shit. So when all your favorite programming is over, now we're going to insert a NutriBullet conversation or in your case, Billy Blanks, right? Selling his
Don't be
boxing
bringing
tapes.
my uncle into this.
Yeah. Selling his boxing tapes, right? It went to that. They got rid of that because the internet came about. And so they just put it all there. And then they were just like nonstop freaking reruns of Basketball Wives all up until the late hours. Meanwhile, okay, you get hungry while you're sitting up late at night watching all this shit. So people are getting fatter. Okay. You don't even have to get up from the fucking couch to change the TV. So you don't got to move. Right. It's just like the progression is crazy. And people in the chat, if you agree with me, Soonie's right. We're never as a society going to regress, but you can for sure choose how much time you're going to spend with this versus with this or with this or whatever is around you, physically around you. You can decide that. The world doesn't have to tell you what to do. You can choose where you spend your time. And yes, Mo chooses to spend her time away from these things.
It's okay. I can. This is funny. I was showing my husband something, and I read it, and I was moving on. He was like, "Wait, you're done reading that already?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I know what it says." And he was like, "Wait, click see more." So then I clicked see more, and I read it all, and I could still hear him reading, like he wasn't done. He was taking it all in. Versus
Uh-huh.
me, right? You can send me an article, and I can look through it, do just like that, read it. Okay, I know what it is.
You scan read or you're just reading fast?
No, I'm reading it.
Oh.
I know what you've sent. I know what the article's about. Okay, cool. We can move on. Now, if it's something that's I'm very deep into, then yeah, I might spend a little bit more time looking at it. But a
Mhm.
story is a story. You read an article, you move on. You're gonna put up a post. Cool. I know what the article's about. Do. Post right there. I think people don't have a healthy relationship with this. I can post something, I can read it, and be done with it.
Mhm.
That's not what people do. I don't feel the need to like go hide it and be like, I need to put this down
Mhm.
because I'm not sucked in. You know what I saw the other day? I
Mm.
was walking. I meant to record this. I was walking out from grocery shopping, and this dude stops dead in front of me, pulls out his phone, and is looking at Instagram and scrolling.
Like something just like grabbed him all of a sudden, or maybe he heard a ding.
I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
guess I'll just go around, right? And then I'm walking, and there's another woman who's walking to the grocery store like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
see a
how do
lot of
you
people.
even know where you're going?
Well, remember all those people that like died walking into like busy streets or off cliffs with that Pokemon Go thing or whatever that was?
I remember
What was
that.
that? What was the thing where they were
Pokemon
like,
Go.
yeah,
That's what it
Pokemon
was.
Go? Like there was like a phenomenon of people just like,
I didn't know people died.
oh yeah, there was like people because
Oh,
like the
damn.
Pokemon, they'd be like at a lake searching for the Pokemons, and they'd be walking, and then they just fucking walk off a cliff and like die, or they walk into a busy street because they could see that that's where the Pokemon was. The other day, actually yesterday, Dave and I were driving to the store, and he was like, "Oh, did you hear about so and so's son? They got in a car accident." And I said, "No, where'd you see that?" Facebook, of course, because nobody calls and says my son got in a freaking car accident. They post it on Facebook, right? Um, and I said, "Oh my God, that's crazy. Like what happened?" So he goes to open his phone to tell me the story because he didn't call this person to say, "Hey, how's your son?" It's all on the phone. Okay. Well, he opens his phone and quickly gets distracted and is just scrolling. And I'm like, well, wait, I'm like, what's going on with the son? Oh, my bad. Because he opened his phone and just started immediately scrolling. Forgot completely that he was supposed to tell me what happened with the son. But you
Oh
know what, you
man.
guys? I have found out about relatives dying, relatives being sick on the freaking internet because people go to the internet first to post shit before they call family.
Yeah, that's how I found out my uncle died. It's through the internet.
Yes.
I was
Man,
mad. I could agree with you there. I was a little mad. I
that's kind of
called my
messed up.
sister. I'm like, nobody told me, and she's like, I thought you knew. I'm like, nobody told me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in another country. Nobody called me and told me he died.
Yeah,
Had
exactly.
no clue, dude.
What up, Baby MAGA? Hey, let's plug Baby MAGA's show. Is it started the Patriots Den?
The Patriots, Dan. I I think he posted that he was coming back, but I don't remember when.
Baby MAGA, put your info. By the way, that's PJ here, but he's Baby MAGA or Texas Independent. No, yeah, Texas
Yeah,
Independent
Texas
on
Independent.
Instagram. Um, Post your show information in the comments and we'll pin it. Because we've been waiting on him to come out with his show.
I've been waiting for this one.
I've been waiting. Um, Yeah, this is an interesting conversation. This is a conversation Sudi and I have all the time because most of the time our age differences. Um, well, Suni likes to point out our age differences because she's constantly either calling me a square. What'd you call me yesterday? She calls me a square, or she's like, "Oh my god, you're such a
Boomer.
boomer." Yeah, that's the other thing she says. Cause she'll just, she talks to me like I'm just like her age sometimes. So she'll be like,
I do.
she'll send me this article on somebody that I have no idea who they are because they're like the music nowadays that people listen to. And I'm just like, who's that? And she's
It
like,
was so
oh
funny,
my God.
bro. I was
She's like,
like,
oh my God, you're such a boomer. And I'm like, what?
dude, I forget. I forget. I'll send her something and she's like, who is this? And I was like, you don't know who this is? Dude, I forget that everybody I interact with, they're older than me. I don't
Yeah.
really like I interact with people my age, but people my age are not really like quite mature yet. It's
Ashley
always
said,
people a few years older. What a
Ashley
bully. I'm
said,
not a
what a
bully.
bully. Right.
I'm not a
Actually,
bully,
if
dude.
maybe I should feel like a compliment, right? Because she's treating me like one of the young gals. What, wait, what did I say? What did I say the other day? And you're like, oh my God, that's so old. What was the comment?
Oh, that hit the spot. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
bro, what? My mom
Dude,
says that.
I was eating something. I was like, dude, that shit hit the spot. And she's like, what? She's like, my mom says that. And I'm like, what am I supposed to say? And you're like, that hit.
Yeah, or that was
Or that was
bussing.
or my son said, that's gas. I was like,
That's
that's
what we say
gas.
for a
That's a
tree.
negative. If it's gas, man, that's a negative situation at my age.
It was just a moment that I realized. I don't know. Our age difference just came up, and I'm like, damn, bro, I'm only 32. So there's definitely not a language barrier, but there's like a communication barrier because
Yeah.
you experienced a large portion of your life with something I only had 10 years with. I had 10, 11
Uh-huh.
years with like no internet, no nothing. The
Yeah.
rest of my life is social media, internet, reading, what's on YouTube. I know how to go search this up. It's tech for me.
Whew. She's good, y'all. She's good. And Mo's just over here like, no, 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 no. I'm not dead. Look at
Yeah, she
Dave had
taps out so quick, dude.
Dave had to come up here and plug in a new keyboard for me, which is just a simple USB. It works quite like if I were to plug in my cell phone. But I was like, nope, not doing it.
This is funny.
Yeah. Sudi, she like clowns me because she's like, dude, it's so easy. You just do this, this, and this. And she like rattles it off like it's nothing. And I'm just like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
It happens.
Yeah.
Like, what did I say? Oh, today. I said on phoneme. She was like, on 4 of them.
Oh,
What?
yeah. On what is it? On 4nem? Does it mean all 4 of them? Is that the
No, it just
breakdown?
means on phone them, like on my folks, bro, my people, on phone them.
All four of them.
No, on foe and them,
Oh, on four.
not
Hold on, hold on.
for foe, on phone them.
Oh, hell no. Hold on just a second.
Did you look
Okay.
it up?
No. I was about to go look it up. And guess what pops up in my see, this is again gonna show my age. Guess what pops up in my little search bar? It drops down, it says, "Hi, I'm your AI powered co-pilot for the web." What? Get out of here. How do I
That's
say
been
go
up
away?
there. You can't.
No,
It's
no, no.
integrated.
No, I've never seen it.
Go
Don't want
use
to
the
see it.
conservative AI. That might make you feel better. You know
No,
there's
I don't.
conservative AI now, right?
I don't want to use any AI. And she'd be like,
On the
then
phone
throw
with
me your
them.
iPhone. On the phone with them? What is
People
okay,
are trying to guess what I'm saying.
spell it out for me.
Here, let me
All
pull it
four
up
of
for
them?
you.
All
No,
four
it's
of
not
them.
all four of them. Oh my God, stop saying that.
It's so stupid. Like if it's this hard to grasp, it shouldn't even be used.
Bruh.
On the phone with them. But
It's
wait,
just like
what?
saying, I swear to God. Like,
Use
swear
it
to
in
God, bro.
okay, use it in a sentence.
On phone them, I was hungry as hell, bro.
Why are you adding extra words on
I'm
phone net? Oh, on phone. Hold up. And on top of this is a Chicago term. This is my place. This is where I'm from.
I
On
told you.
phoneme. On phoneme. Chicago term used to confirm the seriousness or accuracy of what was just said, like on my mama.
Oh, my
Phoneme.
mama.
Are your male friends associates? Sean, I have to pass this test or I'm going to fail on phoneme. That's some stupid shit. That is so stupid. On phoneme. Listen to the people in the chat. I need y'all to hit that like button or we're not going to be seen by the algorithm on phoneme. On phoneme.
That was
That is
good.
stupid shit. Listen, this brings me to a topic of words. Can somebody please tell me? I'm gonna do, listen, I know I do Mind of Mo, but there's another segment I'd like to bring to the table where we talk about phrases that are used that Mo doesn't understand. Okay. Faux example. Faux example. The word kowtow. Okay, which I heard Candace say, we need to stop kowtowing. Oh, and I heard Bryson say it too, and he's black and country, and he said kowtow. He said, we need to stop kowtowing to these homosexuals. Okay. What the
Homosexuals.
hell? What the homosexuals? What the hell does kowtow mean and why does it exist? Because when I looked up what it means, it's like bow down, submit. Okay. Can we just say we don't need to be submitting to these homosexuals? We don't need to be bowing down to them. We need to say kowtow for what?
Because we have to avoid censorship on the internet.
And you don't think the internet of AI has figured out that kowtow means what it means?
Mm-mm. That's why we can still say flaggots. See?
Lord.
You see how resourceful we are as young folks? We figure out a way to say something without saying it. That's brain power. That's creativity. I'm just saying. She's not buying.
I'm trying to say I'm trying to use the new word I learned. On phoneme, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like seriously,
On
like
phoneme.
the cat's pajamas, another one. Why?
I
That's
didn't
the
even know what
cat's
that meant.
pajamas. That's the cat's pajamas. Okay, number one, cats don't wear pajamas, and who the hell came up with that? And why? Can you not just say that's the best thing ever? I love it. We've got to say that's the cat's pajamas. Soonie uses big words all the time, and I have no
don't.
idea what she's talking about.
No, I don't.
Kowtow is a weird one.
I do not. It's K. It's KOW. I do not use big words all the time.
Yes,
I
she
use
does.
normal words.
No, I'm pretty
Dude,
sure Soonie has an app that gives her the word of the day to
that's
confuse
the
Mo.
bee's knees.
Yeah, the bee's knees. Bees don't have knees. Where did this? It's so dumb, man.
You ever watch Idiocracy?
No.
Can we put I'm gonna pull it up back here one day when we're not doing
Oh,
anything,
I was
and you
about
have
to
to
say.
sit here and watch it.
Okay, because I was about to say you're gonna get us.
No,
Oh,
no.
copyright.
And bees do have knees. Thank you very much. They have little knees. They're not knees like we have, but they have legs that are knees.
Soonie, don't traumatize me. What
They
do you
do.
mean?
You
Bees
never saw
have.
a bee walk?
Yo, hold up. Hold up. Do bees actually have you? I'm so sick and tired of you people trying to tell me stuff that traumatizes everything I know in life.
They have knees, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
She said bees don't have knees with such conviction.
Dude. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up. Show me the knee. Where's the knee at?
It's
Where
right
the knee at?
there.
Where the knee at? Where? This? That's an ankle. Okay. This is
No,
a foot.
that's a
Listen,
knee
this
up
is a
there.
foot. That's an ankle. Ain't no knee. This is the joint.
Bro, that's what do you think your joints are? That's where your knee is.
Bro, I have a knee in the middle of this shit. This bee does not have a knee.
Yes, he does.
Soonie.
It just don't look like your knee. Even science is telling you bees have knees. It's not Soonie.
Do bees have knees? Let's see. I'm upset, dude. If it comes out that they have knees,
They do. It already said yes.
where? See, you see how fast she reads it. Hold on, hold that thought, because I'm going to talk about Soonie and how she gathers information. Bees have 6 legs, and each of those 6 legs includes a joint between between the femur and the tibia, known as the knee. So 1 knee per leg equals a total of 6 knees.
Yeah. Spiders have knees too.
Wow. Okay, one thing at a time. Don't tell me.
Spiders have eyes.
Dude, don't do this to me, please. Okay?
Did you know that daddy longlegs are the most poisonous spiders ever, but because their mouth is so small, they can't bite us?
Dude, okay,
Yeah,
first
spiders
of all,
have mouths too.
First of all, have I ever seen Keikles? Listen, hold on just a second.
Oh
This person
God,
right
please
here,
don't get her started. We got over this last year.
Mo, has
Oh
Mo
my
ever
God.
seen Mo has Keikles, y'all. Look. Mo
Here
has
we go.
Keikles. I got Keikles. I'm Hispanic. Okay. Hispanic women are born with kinkles. It's just what it is.
I
Okay.
cannot believe you didn't know bees had knees, dude. She didn't know broccoli was fake. She thought broccoli was just naturally
You
occurring in
see what I'm
nature.
talking
No.
about? See, this is the stuff that my generation did not concern ourselves with.
And that's why y'all are starting to die early, because you don't know what's in your food. And we're like, nope, don't eat that. It's pesticides in it. It's genetically modified GMO. You shouldn't do that. They pump your chicken with what do you call it? Steroids and antibiotics. You guys wouldn't know that if it wasn't for us. This generation is very inquisitive.
It does nothing for me to know that bees have freaking knees, or that spiders have knees, or that a daddy longling could be poisonous if he had a bigger mouth. I don't care. It's useless information. See, that's the shit that, like, I only have but so much space in my brain, and I can't use it on that shit. Now, let me tell you what this is a symptom of, okay? You know how we were having the conversation the other day about how you don't watch entire videos.
No.
Usually you just watch clips, or you scan things, right?
Yeah.
But when she wants to know the full detail, she calls Mo because Mo will sit there and watch a 3-hour video
Yeah, I'm not
or
doing that.
4 or 5 but I'm not sitting down, mind you. I'm like cleaning, I'm doing laundry, I'm doing stuff while I'm listening to this stuff. Okay. I
Ain't gonna happen.
cannot with the little clips. I
Ain't
can't
gonna
do it.
happen.
I can't do it because some of y'all have really misled me, sending me all these clips, and then I go and watch the full video, and then I'm upset with you because you misled me and you try to trap me into posting something that wasn't accurate.
Erica's making fun of my son.
You know what?
We went camping this weekend, and they're making chorizo, and my son's like, "What's that?" And Erica and Jay, they were like, "Oh, it's pork," and he's like, "Pork has worms." And they just paused at the table, and I'm like, "Bro, shut up."
Oh, they learned that from you. See, you're gonna get your kids beat up one day because they're gonna pop off about some facts that nobody else knows, and they're gonna feel dumb.
Dude, it was so funny. They were just like, "Okay." My son's like, "Why are you eating this?"
No, listen. Let me tell you another story. So one day I'm on the phone. We're talking about the gay thing with Aunt and Bryson. And I'm like, I have gay friends, and like I would never say that to my gay friends. And Soonie's kids in the background. Why is Mo friends with homos? I'm like, what the hell? Shit. What? I was like, what? I hear a little voice. Why is Mo friends with the homos? I was like, what the that shit was funny. I was like, oh my God. Only Sootie's children. Only but see, this proves that okay, so if you guys are looking for proof that I'm her friend, this is it. Okay, because I could have been like, clip that, because I could have been like Steven Crowder recording every phone conversation of all my friends and blasted her on the internet that she was raising, bigots, basically.
I am. I'm sorry. I want them to be this way. Look, that was funny. She said that on her own too.
Yeah, she did.
I forgot about that.
But then Sootie's kids will say the most innocent, cutest things like, do you have it like in the middle of nowhere today? Me and Sootie were having a heated debate. And all of a sudden I hear another little voice in the background. Do you have an innie or an outie? Like, what? Like, sometimes they say the most innocent of things. And then sometimes I'm like, you guys are smarter than me. Like, you guys say some really like insightful shit.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Why is she friends with homos?
Yeah. Or like when I talk to your kids and they're in the car and I said to you, I'm like, man, dude, your kids really have the knack for making me feel like a freaking idiot. Because they'll ask me all kinds of questions. They love to like get on the phone with me and like ask me what I'm cooking, what I'm doing, why am I doing what I'm doing, why am I cooking what I'm cooking, and they offer up their opinions on what I'm cooking. And one day they decided to ask me why I call their mom mean. So Soonie was like, hey, the kids want to talk to you. Like all the kids wanted to talk to me. And they were like, this is the phone conversation. I was like, hello. And they were like, why do you call my mommy mean? And I was like, well, she's not really mean. She's a nice person, but I just joke with her. And they were like silent. And so me being me, I was like, oh shit. Like I offended them and they really think I'm calling their mom mean. Like I like a normal nervous reaction. I just start like trying to explain myself. And I'm like, well, she's not really being like, I know you guys love her and she's your mom. And, of course you think she's nice. I'm sure she's super. And they're just silent. Okay. Like they're just like, this shit ain't good enough for us. Apology not accepted. And like after being silent, they were like, she's not mean. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm my bad. I apologize. She's not me. Like, I was scared, okay? I was scared of these kids, like all three of them. They were not having me call their mama mean.
You can't manipulate my children.
Yeah. versus when Soonie talks to my children who are adults, and she's ragging on me. They're like, "Yeah, she is. She's lame as hell. She's like she's square as all get." Then my son starts siding with Soonie, and I'm just like,
Yeah, we
"Whatever."
were vibing. We were definitely
Yeah,
vibing.
yeah, they were all screaming at me. I was like, "Wait a minute, you're supposed to be on my team."
That's how we got on a discussion on phone now.
Oh, for them.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
I had fun with this show. I think this show showcased how different we truly are and
Mhm.
how we can have like heated discussions and I don't wake up or go to bed mad at Mo. Like I've never been mad over
You haven't? Are you sure?
I've never been mad at you over an opinion. Mm-mm. I may be like, oh, whatever, she'll reconsider it and come back
Mhm.
later.
Mhm.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, but I don't like hyper focus like she didn't agree with me on this. I'm gonna die. No, I don't care.
Usually she's like, "Why are you so defensive of this person?" And I'm like, "Why are you so defensive of this person?" 'Cause-
Dude, it
yeah.
can be like something innocent. And she'll be like, well, let's just give context. And I'm like, I don't want
Mhm.
context. Like,
Yeah, she
no,
doesn't
I'm not
care.
asking for it.
Like, I get mad that she defends Crowder as much as she does, and she hates when I defend Tatum because I always defend Tatum because I love Tatum and he's my friend, and I know him personally. So I'm gonna defend him. He's my boy. I'm never gonna say some backward shit about him. And even if I disagree, it's gonna come from a place of love.
That's probably how people feel about you when you talk about me. That's why I don't say anything. Because I'm like, people probably have things to say, and you're like, no, that's not
Yeah.
Soonie. She doesn't do this. So I don't say anything because I would be a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I would be a hypocrite if I got mad. And I genuinely don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we're different. I like that it's not a boring echo chamber conversation and everybody's just sitting there agreeing. That would be so
Mm-hmm.
boring.
Mm-hmm.
I need mental stimulation from my friends.
Yeah.
I don't want to just be your friend just because you're nice. Who gives a fuck about being nice, dude? Who
Yeah.
cares? Can I talk to you?
Yeah, exactly. I do want you to be nice, and I want to be able to talk to you. But if you guys must know, if you think that if you want to know that things are going south with me and Soonie, tune into the last few episodes of what was the show we did before?
What? Oh, truth will set you free.
Truth will set you free, where the tension was high. I didn't have a problem with anybody until the very last episode when Drew Breezy came on and they like completely insulted him, and I was like mortified. Not you, Soonie, but the other,
Yeah.
other co-host. But Soonie, she was done. And if you want to see what Soonie's like when she is done,
Yeah, you should go watch that.
there you can watch that. See, we just gave them a shout out for people to go watch our last episode where we appeared there. Just,
go back and watch it and give it a bunch of comments.
Yeah.
Just that video specifically.
I think our chemistry is so special on this show and unique that you would definitely know if something was amiss with me and Soonie. Like we were starting to like.
We wouldn't be able to do the show.
Oh, you would tell. Soonie would have mad attitude, and I would just be like,
"Yeah, this is two women. It's different when you have two women doing a show together."
Yeah, you wouldn't see me laughing, joking. I would be real cut and dry, and then you just wouldn't see me anymore.
Yeah,
and then Soonie would just do a show on her own, and she'd be like, "It is what it is."
Yeah, I don't even think I probably wouldn't even talk about it.
but I'd be like the guy Ryan from the Steven Crowder show. And people would be like, "Where's Mo?" And I'd have to go do like an interview, like on another podcast to explain where I went. See, that's why I understand.
No, I would no. Watch it.
Watch it.
Oh, I need that. Man. I do, dude. I need that. We need that on a soundboard, guys. By the way, we keep bringing soundboards up because we want to take this show to the next level. I really, really need a roadcaster. Because once we get a roadcaster, we can get a number and people can randomly call in and give their crazy opinions on all this. And I think you will get more people that call in because they don't feel the need to show their face. And they don't have to take the extra step of turning off the camera, going to a computer. You can help us out with buying some awesome merch You can go over to Truth in the Marketplace, titmmerch.myshopify.com, or you can scan this QR code here to go shop there. We have some mugs, we have new t-shirts. CRT is racist. What's the other one I just dropped? 4th of July and Juneteenth is American history. We dropped that one. We have the Mercy mugs, we have the Grace mugs, and I've been working on some other stuff behind the scenes that I may or may not be adding. It'll be under me and Mo's line because people have been asking for the Repeal the 19 shirts, and I want to put out a really sick version of that. So go shop. And we have discounted prices. We're now offering shirts for cheaper that you can go buy that have the same logos on it, and hats. I saw a lot of people buy that hat. So I'm assuming that hat is a hit.
Yeah, and there's people that are buying mugs too. And if you guys have bought stuff, please send a picture of you with your merch to our Somewhere in the Middle Instagram page, and we'll post it. And thank you for your purchase, because we want to, definitely show you some love, and thank you for that. You can also donate to us at Somewhere in the Middle on Venmo, which you can also find in our link tree on our Instagram page. All the links that you need are there. So any type of support you can give us is always appreciative, because we're trying to use it to get more stuff to make this show even better and funnier. Can you imagine if we just at the touch of a button could like put a sound effect in there?
Dude, that would be hilarious.
Amazing.
It's going to be better. I think this show will really, really, really take off when we're able to do things together, show up, do street interviews, travel, do the little wacky skits that we talk about in the background. It'll be better.
All the time. All the time, man. We talk about so many things we could be doing.
Seriously.
But we
you
need your
are
help.
late, Joe. Just like a nigga showing up late.
Joe Collins. Joe Collins. Just joking.
Why you have to say his name like that? Yes, Joe. Joe Collins.
Don't mess up my city, Joe. Don't mess up my city. Where you at? Well, he probably won't say it because I know he's in Texas now, in Dallas now.
Joe about it. He gonna put out he gonna drop the location and be like, "What? Now hop out on feet." What's
he
happening?
About it? He bad about it. Is he
bad about it?
Is he what is it? Phonem?
I can't with you. Is he phonem? Can he say phonem?
Wait, Joe, since you joined late, here's a test. What's phonem? Say it, spell it. Phonem mean. What does it mean, Joe?
Joe, on phonem.
On phonem.
Tell her on phonem you in Plano, bro. On phonem.
Do you know what that means, Joe? Let's see how black Joe is.
Prayers for your sister.
You're right by Liddell. Yeah, prayers for your sister. You're by Liddell. Liddell lives in that area.
Prayers.
Wait a minute. You black living in the rich part of Dallas? Because Plano, that's a little highfalutin out there, okay? Because if you were blackety black, you'd be like in Oak Cliff or South Dallas or something like that.
He said, "I don't mess with that."
I don't mess with that. He don't mess with what? On phonem? He don't mess with it?
On phonem.
Oh, he said I'm rich though. Yeah, we know why you rich. Just joking. I'm just joking. I heard rumors why you rich. Just joking.
Yes, that is a new update. When you go to our website, it does play music. You get to hear some awesome tunes while you shop. You can turn it down. You can blast it. Whatever you want to do. Did you notice that?
Oh, he said he's white folks rich. Did you see that? I did notice the music.
Hey. Go shop until you drop.
He's white folks rich.
White folks rich. So you got that old money though.
That's a great t-shirt, by the way. I'm white folks rich.
All you gotta do is put old money. If you put old money on a shirt, everybody will know. Ooh, okay.
Oh, Joe's retired and he owns a government contracting company. So you're out of politics? You're not going to do politics in Dallas then? Dude, if you were Italian, a government contracting company would sound hella sus.
He black.
But he black, so he's safe.
He black.
He black. I love that shirt. American history. It was inspired by the shirt that Usher wore that we talked about our last show.
Yeah,
By
the
the
shirt
way,
that Mo didn't give a crap about. Who cares? I'm
listen,
still gonna go see Usher.
if anybody has the hookups to the Usher concert, Loza, if you're listening, call me back because I done left you too many messages and you said you were going to help me get these Usher tickets and you have not come through.
Ooh, Loza.
Ooh. Wait,
Ooh,
have you talked to Loza? Should we
Loza.
call Loza?
I have talked to Loza. Loza messaged me. Um, wait. Wait a minute. Loza. We talked on the
Wait,
30th. We talked on Sunday.
you and him talked on Sunday?
Well, he left me a little video message.
Wait, really quick, call him on your speakerphone and be like, hey, see if he answers and ask him about the Usher tickets he was supposed to help me with.
Okay.
We're calling Loza Alexander, ladies and gentlemen. The creator of the hit Let's Go Brandon.
Why are you talking like a golf commentator? Guys, he's up at the tee. Shh, don't tell nobody. Shh. It's 7 o'clock. He's not answering.
He
like
never
like a
answers.
true ninja.
He never answers. Oh, we should do a prank call to Loza.
You know what we're gonna do? We have to record this.
If we had a roadcaster. Okay, go ahead.
I want to call. Remember my idea that I had of a transracial journey?
Yeah.
I wanted to document. Okay. I want to start calling trans organizations and asking them, can they give me any resources on becoming white?
Oh,
Instead of becoming a man or a woman,
okay.
I want to become white. And I need
Okay.
for them to direct me in somebody who can help me be white.
Yeah. Y'all, if we had a roadcaster, we could do this for you live.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Dude, we could crank call people. I got a lot of phone numbers in my. I got a lot of.
She
important
is
people.
like salivating.
I got a lot of important. I got celebrities in my phone. I know how to block my number. We could do this, but we need that roadcaster. We need that roadcaster.
Oh man, where's the GoFundMe for it? You know what? People seem to get more money when they use a GoFundMe. Maybe we should put up a GoFundMe account for
I think we
our
should
show.
use Give, Send, Go. I hate GoFundMe.
Gives and Go. That sounds like some Canadian shit.
Give, Send, Go. That's what Loza used to raise his 75K. Maybe we could have luck with that shit too.
Okay. We're going to do that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. If we do that, y'all better come through. Don't have us looking like fools out here on the street with a zero
$5
balance.
up in there.
Listen, Loza Alexander had 75K. Okay. Don't leave us with a zero balance after y'all said to set up the damn. God, we have a Venmo account. We could cash out of that mug right now.
Right
Venmo,
now.
somewhere in the middle, USA. Linktree is in our bio on Instagram. Just go donate there. Don't make us go through no extra work.
So,
Damn.
what did we learn today, everybody? What did you learn today?
I learned that you cannot judge off of a 3-minute video. I learned that not everybody's marriage is the same. Okay. I learned that we cannot always believe all women and we can't always believe all men. But like Candace Owens said, we need to actually believe facts and listen.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Facts.
And if there are no facts, then we have no opinion.
Hello?
Is that Loza?
Hello? Hi? What are you doing?
Is it Loza?
You sent me a video? Okay. I'm going to watch it.
What? Was that Loza?
Oh, it's my husband.
Oh. I was like, why'd you answer like that?
What? Many people don't realize an abusive sociopath was able to seamlessly destroy a man because of the Me Too campaign. Never #believe women. Instead, listen to women and men. Why do I sound like fucking Ben Shapiro?
Did he make that?
Yes.
What is that?
I'm about to play it. Why do I sound like Ben Shapiro?
You sure do. But why is it so sped up?
My husband made this. Oh God. I'm gonna play it. Hold on, guys. My voice just sounds really what? I
In
didn't
the
even
meantime, I'm gonna put the link to our Venmo in here so y'all quit playing with our emotions. I'm gonna watch this right now.
quit playing with
Run it
my
up.
emotions.
Run it up.
Little baby gone. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. You know that song?
No.
Who is DDG?
Who's DD? Why are you asking me? I don't know DDG.
Just know who DDG is. All right. And here's the production of my husband. I'm on record calling Amber Heard a liar from day one. Many people don't realize an abusive sociopath was able to seamlessly destroy a man because of the Me Too campaign. Never #believe women. Instead, listen to women and men. Now, I have watched multiple people speak out on this. I've heard multiple people say they don't care to hear Steven's side. Where is the context? Where is the allowing people to defend themselves? Where is the innocent before proven guilty? Where is this is not enough information? We need this, we need that, the third. What happened to never #believe women? What happened to that? Why did it go out the window when it came to Steve Crowder? You want to know what my theory is? My theory is he pissed off the wrong people. He decided, I don't really care about this quote unquote fake friendship that we have going on. I don't like the way you're doing business. I don't like these contracts. You know what he said? Send, bloop. And he made a video and put it out.
He put my favorite part. That he made that?
Yeah.
That's dope. I love it. I love it.
Thank you, dear. I'm going to post
Thank
it as
you,
a
dear.
short. Appreciate you, babe. Anyways, y'all, thanks for hanging with us this Tuesday night. We will be back Friday with more political, cultural, trending news, giving our take on it. There's actually been a lot going on politically wise.
Mhm.
I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Yeah, on phone him.
On phone him. We're probably going to be discussing policy. So we're going to compare and contrast policy between DeSantis and Trump, but that'll be with Liddell. So this is a future show I'm speaking of, where we're going to have a panel of people discussing which candidate is stronger in policy as far as foreign policy goes. And then we're also going to be doing a group show where we sit down and cover Trump's town hall that he's doing with CNN. What do you think Trump? What are your predictions for how he's going to handle this? What do you think?
Oh, I think he's gonna boss it up.
You do?
he's gonna kill it. I do. Yeah, because he's gonna be at a town hall with CNN. You know he's gonna show off. You know he's gonna act a fool. He's gonna pull out all the stops. You know this is Trump we're talking about.
Do you think he might shoot himself? No? Let me ask you this:
Like
do
he
you
might
think
say something.
2016 Trump will come? Do you think 2016 Trump will come out?
Oh, dude, that would be amazing. And if the team around him really wants him to succeed,
Yeah.
they will advise him. Oh my God. Dude, listen, if that happens, I was already on board with Trump, but I will be like screaming from the mountaintops, Trump, 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 Trump. I'm gonna be on the Trump train like you don't even know if he comes like that.
Trump train. Everybody did the Trump. I don't know if I'm going to hop back on the Trump train, but I will continue to tell people this is the best candidate. Right?
You know what I need?
He can't get my vote back that easy.
I need a picture of you and Kyle just like recreating, and maybe you do it like green screen, but like recreate you guys standing behind Trump, the picture that like went viral of you guys standing like when you really were standing behind Trump at the rally. I need you guys with your Make America Great Again hats on. I need Soonie, what was it, 2018, whatever it was. I need the same hairstyle. I need everything recreated.
Recreated?
Hmm.
Okay. I'll try.
And I don't want to hear no bad talking about Trump after that.
Somebody said you will. I feel it in my bones. We'll see, y'all. We will see.
Yeah.
I mean it when I say I don't like this log cabin madness. And you shouldn't either. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do another show on the log cabin Republicans. I haven't resurfaced with that. We need to look at their website, see what's updated, see what's going on there. And I'll do a fun little show. It'll probably be on Instagram. But it was cool hanging out with y'all. Again, Friday we'll be live and we'll have more topics. And hopefully we'll be able to discuss Steven Crowder clearing up whatever madness is going on as far as the attack on his character. Because he's supposed to be speaking out on a lot of the claims that have been put out.
Hopefully.
I'm not gonna hold my breath though.
Soonie wants to see Candace go down.
Don't say that because people watch the show and they'll be like, see, look, Soonie did not say that.
I'm just joking. She wants to see Candace win, but she takes some pride in being like, I was right and you were wrong. Yeah, she does.
I do. I'm not gonna lie and say I won't take pride in that. That would be a massive W on my end.
Yeah. She also wants to be like, Simo, I was right. She wants to tell Mo she was right too.
We'll see. And look, the beauty about it is if I'm wrong on Steven Crowder, you know what I'll come out and do? Dang,
what?
Bro, I had that wrong.
Yeah, she will. I know you will.
Doing that.
Yeah, I know you will. Watch it. Just watch it. Fucking watch it.
I wanted to make you uncomfortable by just.
Can we please? You know who does? Wait, you know who does that look? And I love the way he does it. Is Dave Chappelle? Like when Dave Chappelle just like stands there and does that like staring look, it cracks. It cracks me up.
Good night, y'all. See you Friday.
I'll phone him.